freaking cold. Speaking of, I'm going to grab a blanket. Do not judge me. And if you do judge me, I don't care. I get judged on the internet every day, so it's totally fine. Memphis. Okay, I'm actually going to be in Memphis next week for a couple days. Isn't it? South Carolina's cold, yeah. Speaking of South Carolina, there was a big day today. I am on YouTube right now. It's live on YouTube for 25 seconds. I'm also live on Twitter and Twitch if anybody wants to be like my 10th or 11th Twitch follower, or 12th, maybe 12th Twitch follower. Still very new. So we are going to watch Banfield. I figured we could chat for maybe 15 minutes, let Banfield get ahead. That way we can fast forward through commercials. So we can talk about stuff before then, if that works for y'all. Couple things that I did want to chat about before we did that. We'll talk about we'll definitely talk about the Murdoch trial because it was big today. It was like, I mean, it was a bombshell. Today was a bombshell. Oh no, the financial stuff. The financial is not going to be dismissed. He's got 103 charges against him. No, Banfield hasn't talked about Idaho in a while. There's nothing to really talk about with Idaho. Nothing that's actually tangible news, at least. I mean, there are little things that'll come out here and there that, of course, I'll report on, but nothing like Banfield is going to do. I think it was a stretch when Ashley Banfield had Kara's mom on. I think that was a bit of a stretch. I don't know if they're going to dismiss it during the case. I see what you're saying. I don't know if they're going to dismiss it or not allow it during the case. What would have been much better, Nico, is if they had tried the financial stuff first, and he was found guilty, then they could have easily referenced that. He got charged with a ton of financial stuff. Some of it was drug trafficking, money laundering, embezzlement. He also had tax evasion, just a few things. So I did not really get to watch much of the Murdoch trial today, but I did watch a decent amount of the Murdoch trial. Thank you for the follow, Melinda. I have 7 people on YouTube, and nobody's commenting yet. So if y'all have questions, feel free to jump over there. Same name, Justin on TikTok. Anyways, one thing I want to talk to you guys about that I am doing real quick, as far as I think the dogs are going to come, unfortunately. Let me move this stuff because I know that they're going to. Yeah, here they are. Here they are. Okay, I'm going to get the dog, and I will keep talking real quick while I do this because otherwise he's going to be a problem. He'll chill in a second. Come on, both of you. Come on. This is becoming our new thing, huh, guys? Here you go. You can have that one. I'll grab this blanket. All right. No, get that. We're not doing this. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right. Go over there. Go. Here's Baxter, everybody. His nightly check-in. And Zoe's over here, too. There's the other one. All right. Anyways. So, you need to calm down. One thing I'll talk to you guys I'm doing this month real quick because I really hope that y'all will engage in it because I think it's super important. And the one video that I did post to start it off has not done that well, which means people aren't watching it or engaging it. So I want to tell y'all about this. Since I do a lot of true crime stuff, he is a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel, and the other one is a Cocker. Hi, buddy. Yes, thank you. For Black History Month, I decided to do a kind of a true crime little series. I'm going to try to keep the videos under 60 seconds with this, but I'm doing a civil rights martyr series. And what it means by that is that all these people, a lot of them who you guys have never probably heard of, or a lot of them that you probably never heard of, who gave their life, whether they knew they were doing it or not, for the civil rights movement. And I'm going to try to do that every day for the entire month. Hopefully I don't run out of people. I didn't count to see how many was on that list. But I know that I'm learning while doing it. So I really hope that y'all will interact with that stuff. The series is going to be called exactly that, Civil Rights Martyrs or Black History Month or something like that. The first one I did tonight, I did Emmett Till, which I've done and talked about him in the past quite a bit. He has his own playlist on my platform. So I added his video And I gave it was way too short, but I'm trying to keep it brief so people can learn just a little bit and go down the rabbit hole if they want. But he has his own playlist, but starting tomorrow, the rest of them will be under that playlist that I'm talking about. So please go interact with that stuff. It's great. I'm showing Banfield here and on YouTube. Although we did find out that on one of our TVs, we have HBO logged in. So we might be able to stream the Murdoch documentary, maybe starting tonight. I don't know. We'll have to see. So anyways, please interact with that stuff is my point. See, I started talking about it and a bunch of people leave. Guys, it's important. So please, if consider watching it. It's good stuff. It is still at 10 Eastern. It is recording right now. The reason that there is a documentary. That I'm starting it a little bit late here is on purpose because now I can fast forward through the commercials. So if I start 15, 20 minutes late, or like last night, for example, where so much of it was about Benjamin Obadiah Foster, we were able to fast through a lot of that because we had already knew what the outcome was. So, anyways, now Zoe's trying to leave. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. So we are going to watch it. I just figured we could chat before then because of everything that's been going on. So today, I don't know, there's 26 people over on the. Yeah, I agree. She should be arrested too, Colleen. I'm the 26 people. I can show the video. I could show the video. I am on YouTube right now also. Yes. Right now I'm on TikTok on this screen. And then over here, when I look this way, I am on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So yes, I am. But that way we don't have to watch all the old people commercials or mute through them and try to fill time with a bunch of conversations I don't really have time to answer a bunch of questions with because it's such typically short. Banfield usually starts off and doesn't do commercial for a little while. And so I figured wait 15, 20 minutes and we should be able to get through. I don't know what tonight's content's about. It's close to being pulled up. Let me do. All right. My video is better on TikTok. Yeah, it just depends. Was that guy caught or killed? He killed himself. Because, of course, that's what he did. But, hey, here's the thing. At the end of the day, the win is he's not around to hurt anybody else. So, bye, Rocco. They are old people commercials. Like, really old people commercials. Like walk-in bathtubs and mobility issues. That's what it is. Anyway, I digress. So we are 10 minutes into Banfield. We got 5 more minutes to kill. And I've not watched. I need to watch that. So I haven't talked. I talked about there's not really. I did a video a little bit while back. My most recent video on the Koberger things. If you want to go back and watch it in regard to the informant. I don't know who it is. There's been a lot of speculation and a lot of guessing. But I don't know anything more than that you guys know. That's all it is speculation and guessing. So that's fine. I said bye, Rocco, but yeah, we can say hi, Rocco. There you go. Hi to your son. We've started to discuss Murdoch a little bit, but not completely yet. I did not see that Xana's mom got arrested again, but it's very possible because I know she had a failure to appear. So that wouldn't surprise me, I will say. Oh, awesome, Eric. I should just duet you. I'm going to follow you back now so that I can duet you. There you go. I don't know if anybody was arrested. Somebody just said something. How to say one. Well, the thing is about the lawyer jargon, because I've heard that too, but the prosecutor specifically wrote that in. It wasn't like already on the form. That was kind of the thing that, to me, that's weird about it. I'm surprised that Emmy is not here yet, because usually Emmy is already here. Like, I feel like I need to wait for her arrival. She was arrested for trespassing. Got it. Okay. I can Google it and I can do a video on it too. I'll look up Kara. I'll put Kernodle. Yep, there it is. She was arrested. Oh, no, hold on. I don't see anything. I saw a couple YouTube videos, but let me. I don't see it, but I believe it because there's a couple things on there. So, oh, Newsweek. Nope, that's not it. All right. Well, I'm sure it's true. I'll do some more research. There's no news on Koberger. We're waiting for trial. I mean, that's really it. The only stuff that you kind of see in regard to Koberger is just little, I would call it for the most part, fluff pieces that come out, like, talking about the mom and stuff like that, or, oh yeah, I should check the GR Ross. That's a good idea. I did not see that either. I've not really been like glued to the news today. If you guys have noticed my videos today, they have been not newsworthy like at all. We'll start Banfield here in just a couple minutes, guys. They've not been really news at all, but they've been like, I don't know. I feel like what I shared today was important. Hopefully you guys do too. So. Oh, where did I go? There we go. Sorry. Did I go on? I don't think I did. There's these kids' parents are right. Yeah, there's a big drug problem up there. No, she would not be in jail with Koberger. I don't know who the informant. I don't know who it is. Ukraine getting. So here's what I will say about the Ukraine getting tanks, and I have to be very careful here. Yeah, I know she goes by Northington. I am in full support of Ukraine, and I'm in support of the U.S. giving Abrams tanks, and I'm in support of the Germans giving whatever tanks that they have. The challenge is when I start talking about Ukraine, I get a bunch of Russian trolls in here, and then or bots, and then I get shut down. So I have to be, if I can have to only talk. That's why I stopped. I actually was covering Ukraine when it first started, which the fact that it's still going on at this point blows my mind. But I had to stop because literally I kept getting shut down. I kept getting shut down. Seriously, like all my videos, everything, lives, everything. Do I think they will assign him a new attorney due to conflict of interest? I don't think so, because there's not that many people who can do it. She's the only one in Northern Idaho who is able to do death penalty capital cases. Okay, are you the one that sent me that? Because yeah, I was actually talking about that yesterday and today. I haven't had a chance to do like deep dive research, but that is going to be a video sooner than later. So thank you for sending that. Yes, there was a student that was like a week or two ago found dead at WSU. They're awaiting autopsy. He was 19 years old. We'll give just a couple more minutes and we'll start Banfield, guys. Yeah, I saw there's definitely going to be a video. I got to be very careful how I word that one. That one may end up being a YouTube video only. Oh yeah, you saw me on Twitter. Yeah, I'm live. I'm streaming 3 platforms at once. I figured, So I don't know anything about the El Salvador new prison, so I can't comment because I'm uninformed. And when I'm uninformed, I will admit that I'm uninformed. Can I speculate who I think the informant is? Okay, I will speculate once tonight on who I think the informant is, because I know we've talked about this a lot in other lives. I know you weren't there, obviously, because you wouldn't have asked if you were. So my best theory, like if you put like a weapon to my head and said, you have to tell me right now, what I would probably say that my best guess is that somebody from his Reddit survey who might have crimes against them that they're trying to get a lesser sentence for, that he may have sent something via email or something just indisputable, completely indisputable, which is why he wouldn't need to be testified because of the information he provides. That's the only thing that I can kind of think of that would make sense. So actually, I got to give you a JB update real quick. I actually talked to him for a second today. So Banfield is a show that we watch on here pretty much every night around this time. It talks about the latest news. We started with the Idaho case. Now we're talking about Murdoch trial. And at some point I'll take a break, but today it's not that day. For you that asked the word in JB, I don't know JB had a death in his family today. His father, he posted it on Instas where I saw it, so I texted him my condolences. But his father-in-law passed away today. So. I don't remember. Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now as well. I'm on YouTube and which one do I have behind me? Oh, this one. Thank you. Yeah, I've got Back to the Future over here, part two, because I own a DeLorean. Ferris Bueller is a great movie, and then I have Eurotrip here. Although I'm thinking about changing Eurotrip out for Anchorman, because even though I think Eurotrip is like one of the best movies ever, I do my work calls in here too, and that's not exactly the most appropriate background for work. So I might change that. How can we watch Banfield? Well, you can watch Banfield on News Nation, which typically YouTube, TV, Sling, whatever, or you can watch it here, which we'll do in just a moment. There is not going to be another Back to the Future. That rumor comes out every few years. I'm on 4 platforms right now, but 3 at once on here, and TikTok over here. Road Trip is good, but it's not one of my favorites. Tom Green annoys me. No, Robert Zemeckis said that as long as he is alive, healthcare. I'm a farmer rep, or I like to say legal drug dealer. Why can't you get into the Murdoch case? It's so interesting. Maybe because it's just so much. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But okay, let me see where we're at in Banfield, and we can watch that. And then it is a good one to get into. It's like nothing else you've ever seen. And here's the thing about, okay, I'm going to say something before I put on Banfield real quick. This might be an unpopular opinion. Okay. When we talk about, I'm not going to get into what drugs I sell. I think that's too close to, with a platform this big, I got to be very careful on how much personal information I give out. So I don't want to say exactly what segment I am, because that would really narrow down what I do. So I started selling, well, people asking how I got into that, into health. I started selling medical devices and then moved over to pharma. That's what I did. But anyway, here's what I want to say real quick before my AD gets me on questions again. I'm not going to look at the questions so I can say this. Murdoch case. It's one that is hard for me to feel bad for the victims. And I know this may be an unpopular opinion. If I'm not the only one who thinks that, please tell me that I'm not the only one that thinks that. But hi, Mr. Petito. Thank you for stopping by. And by the way, congratulations on the win. And I saw Joe Petito came in. Congratulations on the win in Utah. It is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. I think it's a step in the right direction. I really do. So, okay, I'll elaborate on my opinion for a second. Is that, how's it going? Oh, I think, well, the way it passed, hopefully it does go past the House. I might, if you have no problem with it, I might message you maybe on this platform, because there was something after everything happened with your daughter in regard to like domestic violence. And I had an idea that I tried to make something happen right after everything occurred in regard to, some changes in law enforcement, which obviously you're doing a phenomenal job in trying to make some massive changes, but with mental health in law enforcement. And I mean, if you don't mind, I don't want to impose on you or hinder you. So if it's not okay, I'll respect that. But you might know the right people to talk to. And I was trying to get some of my therapist friends involved, but that was something. Okay, awesome. I'll message you on this platform probably this evening, and I'll try to make it as brief as I possibly can, because it's a little convoluted. But I think it's a good idea, and I think it has to start somewhere. But I'll talk to you about that offline. And by the way, I will say this before I finish elaborating on my thought. Gabby Petito Foundation, gabbypetitofoundation.org. Here's what I can say firsthand, because I own some of the merch from it. Okay, sounds good. I will do that. Thank you, sir. It supports a good cause. For those of y'all who don't know about the Gabby Petito Foundation or weren't really paying too much attention to the Gabby Petito case, when what happened there, the Petito Schmidt family set about to make sure that other families don't have to go through what they went through, and created a foundation in their daughter's name. And one of the ways that they help fund it is there's some merch on there, some sweatshirts, hoodies, all sorts of stuff. And I tell you that I bought, my wife and I both have hoodies. They are, and Abby just said it here, they are great. They're incredibly warm. And I probably worn mine like 100 times and washed it 100 times. doesn't fade, anything like that. So it's good merchandise. So please go to, you can get to it. It's a link in my link tree. It has been a link in my link tree for a long time. So you can go in there, get there, or GravityPotatoFoundation.org. So for what that's worth, and it supports a really, really, really good cause. Yeah, even my wife said warmest hoodie. It really is the warmest hoodie ever. So I think I was wearing it yesterday on yesterday's live. Wasn't I? I think I was. I was wearing it at some point in the videos yesterday. But anyway, so to elaborate on my opinion on that is, I don't wish death on anybody, but when you look at the Idaho situation, you have to feel bad for the victims involved in that these were completely all innocent people. Paul Murdoch killed, all of Texas could really use it. So you never know when you're going to go off the grid. Paul Murdoch killed somebody. Maggie Murdoch, if you think about The Sopranos, if you guys watch The Sopranos, I love The Sopranos, great show. Even though Tony Soprano was doing all the bad things, Carmela was complicit with it, right? Like his wife, she knew everything that was going on. She knew what he did and was fine with it. I think it's really kind of the same thing here. No, Paul killed Mallory Beach. The son. It was a boating accident, but he was never held accountable for it. He still took a life. So like I said, it might not be, it was an accident, but he was an accident because he was driving completely under the, hold on, I'm going to come back to that. He was driving completely, underage, not like under 18, but under 21, very much intoxicated. When friends tried to take the wheel away from him on the boat, he refused to do it. The reason he was getting ready to go to court, but when he got arrested, he never saw the inside of a jail, and he was never going to see the inside of a jail because he was Paul Murdoch. He was never going to. Even when they took his mugshot, they did it in the hallway. And even accident or not, her life was taken. So, anyways, he wasn't even handcuffed. Like I said, I'm not saying that's pure evil. I'm just saying, for me, it's hard to feel bad for any of the victims in this particular situation because of that. What do I think about Alec Baldwin? Okay, I'll answer the Alec Baldwin thing, and then I will. I'll answer a couple more of these questions. Like I said, I don't know what I want to answer, and then we will put on Banfield. So we're talking about a couple cases right now. So the Alec Baldwin situation, I can argue both sides. I can see why he has responsibility. I can totally see why he has responsibility. At the same time, I personally don't feel he should have been charged. I'm not a huge Alec Baldwin fan either, so it has nothing to do with me standing him because I like him as an actor. I don't really like him that much as an actor. My favorite thing that he was in was Beetlejuice. So, nevertheless, I think that the bulk of there's several things I think that were a problem of the armory. The firearm should have never been taken off set to be fired outside. It should never, a weapon that's being used as a prop should never have live ammunition in it, ever. And again, I can see why both, and I've got it paused right now, so I can't see the comments. So I want to make sure I don't lose these questions. Somebody asked if Dad Murdoch killed the housekeeper. So that is speculation. They are going to exhume her body. We asked another question that I wanted to answer. Why? Because somebody asked why if they're above the law. Yes, this is a family that has run that area for 100 years. In that area, in those 5 counties, yes, they are above the law. So, anyways, hey Cheryl, I did not see that. Okay. Apparently, somebody said that on here that I heard that Maggie hired a forensic, and again, this is just speculation at this point, which we haven't confirmed it, but I would believe it. that Maggie had hired a forensic accountant to look at family finances. They were also estranged. She was living at the beach house. So I've heard a lot of things about her wanting to do, get a divorce. And so that would not necessarily surprise me. I actually have a Jimmy Hoffa story too, a kind of a personal one, but I will save that. Oh, thank you. I don't know which one you saw. I have one in my lap right here, which I guess you can't see, and the other one is probably behind me. Summarizing the Murdoch case would probably take 20 minutes. Basically, this particular case, if I just sum it up in just a couple words, he is being charged for killing his wife and son. So we could talk about this thing for 3 days straight and we still wouldn't know everything. I mean, the case is massive with so many twists and turns. It would make a phenomenal movie. No update on Brian Walsh. He's in jail. Yeah, it is a lot. It's a lot. And thank you for that. Brian Walsh hung himself today? Really? I did not hear that. I'm going to look that up. Hold, please. No, he's not. He didn't hang himself. No, he's not. He's still alive. No, he's still alive. He's still alive. Anyways, okay. Enough of me talking. Let me get Banfield on. Let me turn you guys around. Let me get y'all turned around. Oh, you're talking about Benjamin Foster. Yes, he took his own life. Yes. Well, he didn't hang himself, but he shot himself. Okay, let me turn YouTube around for the YouTube folks around first. Hold on. YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, they're going to go first. Hold on. Let me make sure I got this here. And then we're going to do doop. All right. They are good. Now let me get you guys, and we will watch Banfield. It's hard to really say a favorite case. If you want me to answer the case that really means the most to me, that I've covered and even been involved in, it would be Gabby Petito. I mean, it really is. I think for a lot of reasons. I don't know if Joe Petito's still in here, and I would say this whether he was or was not. But it's a family that seems amazing. She seemed like, based on them and the little bit that we got to see about her, she seemed like, yes, I can stream it on Banfield. Yes. It seemed like she was an amazing person. And we did a lot of great stuff with that case, like flying banners over the laundry residence. But that one absolutely breaks my heart, and social media played a big part in it. It just means a lot to me. And so much. The Shanquella Robinson case. So I actually owe Pascal. I am long overdue to give him a video on that. I think that's a case that needs a lot more attention. That's what I will say. All right, let me turn you guys over. All right, let me flip y'all. Okay, hopefully y'all can see that. Okay, Alexa, turn off theater. For the purple light. There it goes.
Happy, and then one for Memorial Day weekend and Alex's birthday where everybody's happy. And the question is, how does somebody who loves his family, is in a good mood, then...
I didn't think landscape and portrait would ever be part of a murder case, but today they were a big part of the murder case against Alec Murdoch, South Carolina. Why? I know you know what I mean, right? I'll have a phone. That's portrait. That's landscape. And I didn't realize that every time you move your phone like that, it remembers. It makes a record. So every time you've been moving around, your phone remembers it and it logs it. And if you end up dead, someone's going to know when your phone was like this and when your phone was like that. Those are my two boys, so I'm sure they're really thrilled to have those pictures like they're years old. The reason I bring that up is because Maggie Murdoch's phone was somehow going from landscape to portrait, even though she was likely dead. I don't know how that happens, but I know it ain't good. That's the one thing that wasn't good. The other thing was Paul's phone and what was on Paul's phone. And that might have been the star on this otherwise kind of boring Wednesday. Paul's phone was recording a FaceTime because his friend's dog, who was boarding over at the kennels at the Murdoch's ranch, the dog was having a problem with his tail. So the friend said, Paul, send me a video. Let me see the dog's tail. Let me see how the dog is doing. And when Paul started shooting that video at 8:44 p.m. on the night he was killed, there were voices somewhere behind him. Not just one voice, that was mom, another voice. Pretty much everybody thinks it was Alex's voice. Certainly the people closest to the Murdochs think it's Alex's voice, and certainly the prosecutors think it's Alex's voice. Have a look.
Get that. Quit, Cash. Come. Quit. That's all right. Come. Come here, Cash. Hold it. Yeah.
Hey, he's got versions now.
Hey, Bubba.
It's a guinea.
There's a chicken.
Come here, Bob.
Come here, Cash.
Come here, Bob.
Cash. Quit. Get it. Get that.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it?
Quit, Cash.
Could you hear it? Everybody could hear it. It's just a question of what they heard. And when I say that testimony suggests 100% that was Alec in the background.
Hey, Bubba.
That was Alec. Friends real close to the Murdoch family, like a roommate of Paul's, and a best friend who considers the Murdoch family of his own. They both got up on the stand and said, that was Alec. And Alec looked right at them, and at one point almost looked like he was nodding or conceding to them, like, I'm so sorry that this is happening to you up there, and I'm so sorry you're saying what you're saying about me. It's pretty painful stuff. Andrew Davis, though, is the better arbiter of just how that bombshell landed in the courtroom. And he joins me now live. He's the investigative reporter for WSAV-TV, part of our News Nation family. So we kind of knew it was coming, right, Andrew Davis? We knew this FaceTime video had happened. We'd heard it characterized, but when you actually heard that voice, I don't know about you, but it was unmistakable to me, and it felt like it was unmistakable in the courtroom that was Alec Murdoch right there, 4 minutes before it's thought those two people were shot dead.
Yeah, we just sat there for about 3 hours of tedious but somewhat important cell phone data video that you started talking about with steps and everything else, and everybody's about to fall asleep, and then they pop the video up, and suddenly it's a whole new world, and you hear those voices, and it's Maggie from beyond the grave, and it's absolutely Alec. It's unmistakable, and you can even see Alec bow his head at that point, realizing that it was him on that tape. And then to bring the two friends up afterwards and make them say, yes, that's Mr. Alec. Yes, that's Miss Maggie. The prosecution did exactly what they needed to in that case, which was place Alec at the scene and basically call him a liar, because he had told investigators in the second tape we listened to the fact that he last saw them at supper. And that was just 2 days after the murder that he told them this. There's another video to come, which apparently continues this trend. Now their step is, can you place a gun in his hand? But right now you have definitely placed him at the scene, and the defense has quite a job on their hands to try to get him out of this.
Okay, well, that was my next question. They got to cross-examine the two guys who got up on the stand, the roommate, the longtime roommate of Paul, and then the super close friend of the family. And it didn't go well. It didn't feel like they had a strategy. It didn't feel like they had something planned, even though you and I and everybody watching the show right now, we all knew this was coming.
Yeah, they went more with the, isn't it a loving family? Don't you remember Alex and Maggie just loving each other somewhere? And both guys said, absolutely, that's true. But they also didn't back down on the fact of, that was Alex's voice. That's Maggie's voice. That was Moselle. They even asked him to see if they could get away with, well, maybe that wasn't Moselle where they were. And then they played the Snapchat video later as well, which showed Alec in different clothes than what he ended up with after the murders. So that becomes a question. That's 8 seconds that's going to be in big play in the future as well. So those kids had a really tough time of it. One of them, Rogan, broke down on the stand while listening to that video. The other one just sat there with this sort of smile of, I can't believe I'm listening to my friend again, but I know what's coming next. And I'm going to have to say that this man who I care about so much was absolutely at the scene that night.
I mean, that's so painful to think you're looking across the courtroom at somebody who you considered family, and you're basically digging his, his life sentence grave for him. Okay, I'm going to go to that, not just yet, that Snapchat thing that you talked about, because that was also really big today. But before I do that, I also wanted to ask you about the jury. I mean, they're the only people at this point who matter. You and I, we matter to ourselves. The audience, that we're all playing along and trying to figure out what's going to happen here. But the 12 people sitting in the box and the alternates, if they get a shot, how did they digest that? I always ask, what were they thinking? But to the best of your knowledge, Andrew Davis, what do you think they were thinking?
Every piece of video they are hooked on, absolutely, especially after the testimony that comes up with so much minutia that they're trying to understand. You played that video and they were enraptured by it. And then you put those kids on the stand and there was emotion in the jury box. Just you could see it on their faces, not actual tears, but I think they're seeing how hard this was for these kids and this family who are suddenly all tied together in the greater family of that area. So now they're well invested in this. The prosecutor's going to have to follow up pretty strongly in the next few days to keep them hooked in, because they could lose them with all the minutia. But if you give them the video and you give them these important details about where he's going to be, they got him.
Okay, the other thing was about the crying. It's like cable news. It can be one way or it can be the other way, and rarely is it in the middle, except News Nation. But with the crying, you could look at Alex Murdoch crying at that moment and think he's crying because he's hearing his wife and his son's voices. Maybe for the first time, since the shooting. Maybe he's never heard that tape before. I don't know if they had it in Discovery and they could play it for him in the jail where he's being held, or he could see his life basically going down the toilet in front of him, and he could see a guilty conviction barreling towards him like I-95. What do you think about that moment?
There's a lot of, every time it gets emotional for Alex, he starts to shake a little bit and bob. You can see it. And then sometimes the tears come out at those moments. It's really a torn situation for me, because I've seen it both ways, where he seems to rev it up to get to the point to cry, but also it's only in these incredibly emotional situations when he hears these videos and these voices when they're there. Today, I was surprised at how much he teared up. I think he was more emotional about the fact that he had these boys have to talk to him about this, and they played this video multiple times each time they came up to the stand. So it took 2 or 3 times for him to really break down. It's a tough situation. He's been known, and many people that I've talked to say he's definitely knows how to work people. That's what he did in some of these financial crimes, and were able to amass this fortune wherever it may be right now. So they wonder if he's playing it up, but at the same point, there's some real emotion there that you can see on his face. And it's a tough situation, because he's got to play that jury, but he's also really torn and he's really upset by it.
Being Meryl Streep ain't easy, and sometimes when you see that stuff, it's pretty, it's pretty cut and dry. That's real raw emotion. It's just why some people are upset they got caught, others are upset, that it's not true. Okay, last thing, the Snapchat video. I want to play it. I want to show what the jury saw, because this is, to me, also a kind of a pin drop moment. I don't think there's sound on our video. Let me just check with our control room. There he is. Let me play it full up so you can hear what the jury heard. Take a look. Okay, so important to look at what he's wearing, Andrew Davis. Like, they're all jovial. They're talking about tree planting that's not going well. This is a real kind of loving family moment. It's just hours before his wife and son are blown to bits. But look what he's wearing. He's got chinos and a button-down shirt, and I think hard-soled, brown shoes. But when he was, when he encountered the police saying he found his dead family, he's wearing a t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be one of the big points, I think, in the coming days, as they pull that up and bring that up multiple times, because the timetable is really tight here. You're looking at maybe a 10-minute timetable before he leaves to go see his mom and do these things within this time, and then eventually calls police. So they're going to have a tough time saying that he was able to murder people go to the house, get a gun, change clothes, and potentially drop Maggie's phone a half mile away and do all this in about 10 to 15 minutes. So that certainly works in the favor of the defense. If you're a prosecutor, you're looking at it going, why is he wearing clothes that he's been wearing similarly all day and then showing up in a white t-shirt by the time the police get there later? It doesn't make much sense.
Well, maybe he napped and that's why he changed his clothes. I'm always thinking about, what could be done, what could be said, but I think there's more to come. Andrew Davis, thank you for the play-by-play. I appreciate it.
Sure, absolutely.
Andrew will be back as we continue to cover this. But the fact that Alex Murdoch was there, like at those kennels, 8:44 p.m., right there with his family, like 5 minutes before the family is killed. I mean, that's pretty much got everybody looking at the timeline of all of this, right? Timeline's everything here. And here's what we know about the actual timeline. At 7:50 p.m., Maggie places a phone call to one of her contacts named Barbara, and the call lasts 2 minutes and 46 seconds. That is the last phone call Maggie would ever place. That's 7:50. But there's a heck of a lot more activity on Maggie's phone that night. At 8:31 p.m., Maggie gets a group text about Alex's dad, who's in the hospital. It's from her brother-in-law, John Murdoch, and it reads, "I plan to go over to visit Dad tomorrow afternoon. Does anybody else plan to go?" And almost immediately, Alex's sister responds to the group text with this message: "I'm in court all next week." And according to the cell phone records, that text from the sister, that one was read on Maggie's phone at 8:49:27. That's just 4 seconds before the phone locked for the very last time at 8:49:31 p.m. That's it, 8:49:31 p.m. No more action from Maggie on that phone. So then, prosecutors think at this point, Maggie is either dead or dying. But that wasn't the end of the data from her phone. Alex called Maggie 3 times, 9:04:23, 9:06:14, and 9:06:51. And then he texted her at 9:08:58, called her again twice at 9:45:32 and 10:03:58. None of those calls answered. None of the texts answered. Even more interesting, though, is, and this is where I started the show with, what the phone did after the police believed that Maggie was dead. At 8:53 p.m., Maggie's phone recorded 59 steps. Don't forget, this is after the phone is locked for good and it's believed that she'd already been killed. At 9:06:12, the phone changed its orientation from portrait to landscape. And then 8 seconds later, 9:06:20, the phone went back to portrait. A cell phone expert testified today that those steps and the phone moving back from portrait to landscape to portrait, that indicates that somebody was more than likely holding and moving with that phone. Again, 9:06 p.m. when Maggie's phone was moving around is exactly the time when Alex was calling her phone. 9:47 p.m., Alex texted his wife for the final time, writing, "Call me, babe." 10:06 p.m., he called 911 to say that he'd found his son and his wife murdered at the kennels. So intriguing when you think, why was that phone moving around? Why was that phone taking steps? Why was that phone going from portrait to landscape to portrait to landscape, all after Maggie was dead? Jake Green probably has some insight. And that's because Jake Green is a digital forensics expert, technical lead for digital forensics at Invista Forensics. Also worked with Britt Dove, as I have come to find out, the expert who testified during the Murdoch trial today. Okay, Jake, so I want to think of all the different reasons that could be innocuous and innocent as to why Maggie is likely dead and her phone has a life of its own. Tell me.
There's not really any. That phone is moving because somebody is physically moving it around. All the gyroscopes and pieces within this device that record it, those are moving because someone's actually holding that phone and moving around with it. So there's not really anything innocuous that we could say, oh, well, it might have just mistakenly recorded it. No, this is something that was actually recording at the time somebody was moving.
So the one thing, I mean, everybody wants to say, aha, this is a Perry Mason moment. it's impossible to tell whose hand it is in. It's impossible to tell who's flipping it around, wondering whether, it'll show something in portrait or in landscape. What's the next best thing to try to figure that out?
Really the activity in and around. So looking at the databases, and I saw a copy of a report that you guys used as an infographic. They used a piece of software that automates the review of the database that all this is coming from. That piece of software does an excellent job, but at the same time, a manual review of the actual data itself of that database is going to give us much more than what that piece of software can give us. So there can be other things that can show us not only was the phone in portrait versus landscape, and you showed off your kids, I'll show off my awesome wife. It'll show us when was the last time this phone was unlocked. Was it unlocked with a pin? Did somebody unlock it with their face? What was the brightness? What was the backlight? So my phone right now is off and it's on a black screen. If I pick it up and it's called raise to awake. So if you black screen, raise it, your screen comes back on. That setting is going to be within that database as well. So it may not be something that was pulled out by the automated software, but that database can definitely hold that piece of evidence. So in and around and what happened and estimating steps. Could this person have taken that same number of steps to make it back to the house? That movement had to have occurred somewhere. So trying to place other pieces of evidence as well as the physical evidence of DNA and fingerprints on the device as well. And that's how you would put that phone in somebody's hand.
So the 59 steps, like Maggie's phone walked 59 steps after she's dead at 8:53, just minutes after she's dead. And I decided, okay, is 59 steps back to the house or, it's not. The kennel is a long way away from the house. And I did 59 steps today just to see, how far I get. I got around my house once. It's not very far. Is there anything that could be wrong? I always wonder if my step count is right. Is the iPhone really picking up every step, or could it be a truck? Or could there be errors? How accurate is this? I'm trying to think of what would someone be doing around a dead body for 59 steps. It's not very far.
Yeah, so the things that we've seen in testing and research that other folks have done is there can absolutely be flaws. There's no known accuracy for are those steps accurate within 5-10 steps. I would be more concerned with the estimated distance, as that is something that is measured with GPS within the location data within that device. So I would trust the distance more than I would trust the actual the step counts.
Okay, well, that's interesting, but I do have this list I want to show you. I thought this was pretty damning, actually. It's Alex Murdoch's steps, and there are so many of them, and it seems really frantic. It starts at 6:42, and it goes right through almost every 10 minutes or so. 6:42, 6:52, 7:03, 7:15, 7:28, 7:55, 8:05, 9:02, and they're like giant steps at times, like 283 steps, 270 steps, again 283 steps, 167 steps. They're all over the map from 6:42 to 8:05. But he also says he took a nap, and I don't know. That's kind of impossible, isn't it? I mean, that's not the kind of mistake where you could say, well, the iPhone's not always accurate. that doesn't show that he's napping.
Right. So keep in mind that the windows that we see within movements, those are typically the first indication of movement and the last indication of movement. So it's not saying that you took 183 steps within that 10 minutes. It's just that within that 10 minutes, it detected movement and estimates it. So you could have taken those steps in the first 5 minutes, the first 4 minutes. You could have run for the first minute. So that's just the way the phone records these items. So I think the other important thing to keep in mind is that investigators properly preserve this phone and were able to pull out these databases because they were able to get them within 30 days. So this database rolls over, it's constantly. So the reason we ask about, well, what about Mr. Murdoch's phone? What was his screen doing at the time? They may not have arrested him for 30 days or may not have seized his phone within 30 days. So that's why his data is different from what was found on the wife's phone.
Well, that's something else the defense is going to bring up, is that there isn't a lot of lockstep activity between what her phone's showing and what his phone is showing. And so they'll use that to their advantage. It's all so fascinating. I got all freaked out about how much my phone has recorded about me, even when I don't think so. Thanks for doing that science, Jake Green. I appreciate all your wisdom, though. You sure do. It's fascinating stuff. Thank you. And still to come, the manhunt that we had on the air last night that turned into the standoff in Southwest Oregon. Guess what? This thing isn't apparently, just a manhunt that ended with a real bang. It's also now a double murder investigation with the primary suspect dead. And a lot has changed since we were live on the scene this time yesterday. We're going to bring you right up to speed on everything that's happened next.
Well, I knew he was dead, but I did not know the rest of that. So,
An update in a little bit.
Discover why America's new.
Western Idaho, just above the California border. Benjamin Obadiah Foster. He was the subject of a nationwide manhunt.
yes, he's
right?
dead for sure.
There was a
Self-inflicted.
woman who was near death, and thank God someone checked on her. Because when they found her, Justine Siemens, she was bound and beaten to unconsciousness. And she was rushed to the hospital, and she's on life support. And it is thought that it was that man who left her in that condition, probably expecting she died, but she hasn't. So the manhunt to find him lasted almost a week. And then last night, they had him surrounded. This was the scene. We showed it to you live. And then just as our program was ending, we got word that he is likely dead. And it turned out that word was true. He is very dead. Turns out he shot himself, but they got to him and he was still breathing in the house, under the house. Very, very strange circumstance. And now we come to learn that this isn't just about Justine Simmons, the woman who was near death, that he's also being linked to 2 other deaths, a double homicide in a home not far away. Let me play for you what Captain Kyle Kennedy said about how they found the 2 other homicide victims. Take a look.
A little bit to not show.
Several law enforcement agencies were in the area conducting welfare checks when, through an open window, they were able to observe what appeared to be scenes of a crime. They were able to make entry into that residence, and inside they located 2 deceased victims of what we believe to be homicidal violence.
2 more victims, and it is believed that it is Benjamin Foster who's the killer. Again, they got him to the hospital and he died in the hospital. So they can't ask him any questions, but they're still investigating this. They do know that there was a dog missing from that double homicide, and that Benjamin Foster was seen walking a dog on the morning of what you just saw yesterday morning, when the SWAT team finally, came in and surrounded him. But this was the scene: Benjamin Foster walking that dog outside of Justine Simmons' house. That's the scene of the original crime where she nearly died. It's something else to hear. I mean, the how they got him out last night after maybe he'd shot himself, they knew it, and they had to get in there somehow and get him. I want to let the police chief, Warren Hensman, describe what they had to do to actually get him out of that house. Take a look.
He was dug deep onto this house, ladies and gentlemen. It was very difficult to do. We literally had to cut into the floorboards to pull him from the home and take him to a medical facility.
So there's a photograph that they've shown us now. Look at what they had to do to that house to get him out from under that house, wherever it was he was hiding. Look at the damage they had to do just to get at him. This is where he was hiding. Just a remarkable scene last night playing out. Catherine Stone is a reporter with Cairo News Radio, and she joins me live now. Catherine, it seems as though so many of these facts just came at us so fast, and trying to process it all now, it's still quite confusing. Do you know how he's being connected now to this double murder?
It's tough to say. Police did tell us and they said in the press conference that it appears that the injuries suffered by the 2 victims are consistent with the injuries that Benjamin Foster has inflicted on his previous victims. So in that sense, they were able to connect the 2.
And Catherine, I know that they said blunt force trauma. They didn't go into a whole lot more detail other than blunt force trauma, but we know that Justine Simmons was beaten literally within an inch of her life. And they said it was torture, that she was tortured and beaten and bound and left for dead. Do we have any idea of her condition? I mean, last night we said it was life support. Any more sort of progress?
I did reach out to Grants Pass Police on that. They have indicated, at last check, she has not yet regained consciousness. They would not provide details on the extent of her injuries, only to say that she was near death, beaten on every inch of her body, and had not yet regained consciousness. But as far as the torture goes, they were unwilling to disclose those details.
So the other aspect to this case was that they believed that Benjamin Foster was out on dating apps and maybe looking for places to shelter and to get help in sheltering, or maybe looking for more victims. And there was an arrest. I mean, they made an arrest, I think, of a 67-year-old woman. I'm just so curious, did he find her through a dating app? Was she helping him to secrete away from the police? Is she now facing additional charges because Justine is in terrible condition and those other two men are dead?
And that's a great question, because there's a lot of things we still don't know about this timeline and kind of where Foster was when. We know that he was spotted yesterday morning in the same area that 68-year-old Tina Jones lives. That's the woman who helped him evade authorities. They actually had a home surrounded last Thursday, and they were trying to get to him then in a raid. And they haven't said exactly how Jones is connected to helping him evade authorities last week, but she has been arrested for hindering prosecution, and she could potentially be facing more charges if it is found that she's been connected to these murders. But since the murders happened after she was arrested for hindering prosecution, it's very unclear if she's involved in any of the events that happened after that.
It's sort of mind-numbing, just the sequence of details in this story. Catherine, I'm going to touch base with you as we learn more. Thank you for updating us tonight. Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Catherine Stone joining us from Cairo News. And we're going to turn now to a jaw-dropping murder mystery with the kind of twist that you usually only see on the big screen in Hollywood. A couple discovers that their 23-year-old daughter is missing, and then they get the worst news possible, that police find her dead, brutally murdered in the back seat of her car. And then days later, the autopsy results come in, and another totally bizarre twist. The results show it is not their child at all. It's that other woman who looks exactly like her. And if that's not unsettling enough, how about this news? Police had something else to tell the parents. Their daughter was still missing and now wanted for murder of her doppelganger. They said the daughter abandoned her car and killed that woman who looked just like her and stuffed the body inside the car, all in an attempt to make it look like she herself had died. Why? Why on earth would she do that? And here's the weirdest part. It's not the only story with a doppelganger and a murder plot. That's next.
By the way, I saw you guys talking about not being safe. Just we'll have a conversation about something else.
Look how beautiful she is.
But I found
Whoever
it's
did
going
it
to be a video.
decided to just
There's going to be a video that shows that y'all aren't safe. Also,
way that the autopsy results proved it wasn't her. You heard me. When the autopsy came in, it wasn't Sharaban in the back of Sharaban's car. It looked a lot like Sharaban, but it wasn't Sharaban. It was instead a beauty blogger on the right named Khadija O. But why? Why would this have happened? How did Khadija O end up dead in the back of Sharaban's car? Well, the police had some pretty bad news for the parents. Right after the parents said, the police came to us and said, good news, your daughter's alive. We're so happy. We thought she was dead. 2 days later, they said, we want her for the murder of that lady that's in the back of her car. So they arrested her and a guy named Shakir on suspicion of manslaughter. And then they upped those charges to murder. But why on earth would this have happened? Caitlin Becker joins me now. She is a senior reporter with thedailymail.com. It's such a crazy story, Caitlin, but take me through the process here. Why would this have happened? And what's the police, what's the theory?
Well, actually, it seems here that this is a case of someone trying to fake their own death and assume a different identity. And here, Sharaban is accused of doing this with someone that she didn't even know, but just who happened to look like her. And when police figured out that it was not her in the trunk of her car, they were able to locate her and connect her to this crime because she apparently left a digital trail. Sharaban was trying to, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, how did she find the person who, I mean, look, we all have a doppelganger, but good luck finding one. I've always been told it was Tatum O'Neal, but I don't think anymore. But how did she come across this victim? How would she have found someone who looked so much like her?
Well, actually, she actually put out essentially a digital call out on several fake social media accounts asking for backup dancers who looked like her. And according to police, she had been talking to quite a few of these women, but only this one unfortunate woman would respond and agree to meet up. She wasn't even going to get paid for this backup dancing gig. She was doing it apparently in exchange for free makeup products. And as you mentioned, she was a beauty blogger, so that does kind of make sense. So police say Sharaban and her boyfriend Shakir drove about 150 miles out into the city in Bavaria in Germany and took this woman to the woods and allegedly stabbed her to death.
Okay, what was the point of trying to fake her own death? She had to have had a mission of some kind. Was it life insurance? Was it some other sort of nefarious reason?
You know, we don't know exactly for sure what the reason was, but police say that she apparently had some sort of issue with her family, some family dispute that she was trying to get out of, but we don't have any information beyond that.
Okay, and as if this isn't sort of the craziest story, there's another doppelganger story, a Russian national. This is an attempted murder. I guess didn't continue the process or wasn't successful and is on trial now. So what's this one? What's this story all about?
It's pretty wild to hear about one of these stories, but to hear about two of these stories in the same week kind of blows my mind. In this case, Victoria Nasarova, who you see right here, is this Russian national, and she is accused of trying to poison her eyelash technician in Queens and then assume her identity in order to run from being wanted for murder in Russia. So it's quite a lot of twists and turns. Now, this trial just started in Queens this week, and this woman allegedly contacted her eyelash technician, who did look a lot like her, and said, I have an eyelash emergency, and to thank you for doing this in your own home, I'm going to bring you some cheesecake. And this particular cheesecake was allegedly laced with a very powerful tranquilizer, but not powerful enough because the victim lived.
Wow. And then there's a man that came out apparently saying that this woman had tried to poison him after they met on a dating site as well. So
He's even on the witness list.
Continues.
Yeah.
Oh, heavens. Okay, well, you'll have to come back and let us know what happens, Caitlin. Thank you for that.
Of course.
Caitlin Becker joining us from thedailymail.com. Coming up, what are the odds that the guy or the girl that you meet on a dating app is a violent criminal or worse yet, a killer? I was not expecting these statistics, but they're real, and I would honestly say they're alarming. We have the expert on how to date online and spot the Benjamin Fosters of the world. That is coming up next.
As I know a lot of my followers are women, I'm going to make you guys watch this for your safety.
Also, for that, I am very, very fortunate and thankful. But a lot of people are on dating apps all the time. It turns out like 300 million people use dating apps. That's a lot. That's like the whole population of the US, right? And there is this study that was done at Brigham Young University. They analyzed the records of about 2,000 sexual assault victims between 2017 and 2020. And they found that there's an increase in the victims reporting sexual assault after meeting someone on a dating app. They were mostly college students. That's the group that's most likely to be targeted. They tended to occur at the first in-person meeting. A third of them were strangled and had more injuries than other typical sex assault victims. And then, aside from the violence and the ugliness, in 2021, it turns out romance scams built victims of $500 million. So there's a lot to watch out for if you're swiping left or right. especially if you're, swiping yes. And so coming up after the break, from setting up a profile to spotting a catfisher, we have all the answers and some tips that are kind of new age that will.
Okay, we know that she's going to that.
Kind of an ugly reminder of the dangers of online dating this week. With that whole story in Oregon, the manhunt for this guy, Benjamin Foster. Police said he was using a dating app to try to either get hidden or find another victim. They say that he was responsible for putting a woman into life support by beating her and leaving her for dead. And he certainly had a terrible history of beating women and going to prison for it. And now he's suspected of killing 2 people, and yet he's out on the dating apps, they said. So it made us think, well, maybe we should, take a look again at the stats. And some of those stats seem to be increasing, that violence among dating apps for people, at least according to the study from Brigham Young, seems to be on the rise. Rania Mankarios knows all about the trend because she's seen the numbers and she's seen the people behind the ugly stats. She's the CEO of Crime Stoppers in Houston, and she's the author of The Online World, What You Think You Know and What You Don't. Rania, thanks for being with us, because I think it's really important just to revisit the whole dating app thing. I mean, it's really ubiquitous, but there's some stuff that you suggest that I had never heard before. Create a new profile picture just for that app, as opposed to use the same profile picture for all. Why is that?
Yeah, Ashley, what we want you to do is make yourself hard to find in a way. Don't use the same social media picture you use. People use their business profile pictures. We don't want you to do that. We also want you to create a completely separate email account. We don't want you to be engaged with somebody that has access to your work email. If they start harassing you or emailing you repeatedly, you want to be able to cut them off or create some distance. These are, minor things, but I'm surprised that people don't think about adding these safeguards, and we want them to think about that before they jump on these dating apps.
Okay, good advice. Then just to find out who, if they are who they say they are, you say that you should, Tinder verifies users, but that you need to do your own due diligence. What kind of due diligence should people be doing?
Listen, we want you to become a private investigator at this point. Yes, Tinder verifies users. Match works with a nonprofit company to do background checks. But if you've made a connection and you're interested in taking it a step further, do your due diligence. Research as much as you can. Go on social media. Try to find this person. Reverse image search. Make sure there's no other dating profile with the same image but a different name. We want you to consider doing a virtual call with somebody before you actually take the time to meet them in person. Listen, it's not that we want you to enter the space being paranoid, but the numbers verify, the numbers justify us putting in that effort to make sure that we're connecting with somebody we think we're connecting with and somebody who's safe to be connecting with.
Yeah, I mean, in the old days, you'd be meeting in a bar and you might meet 1 or 2, but if you're able to meet, 50 a week, the law of averages suggests there might be somebody a little more dangerous in that pool. Okay, about that first meeting, we've always heard pick a public spot. That's kind of old advice that is great advice. But there's other advice that you recommend for that first in-person meeting. What is it?
Yeah, you're right. Public spot, daylight if you can. But how about this? Stay on your own turf. Go to a place that you know well, that you know people there, they know you. Of course, tell a friend where you're going. Don't leave with your date and go to another private location. But another thing to consider, share your location with somebody you know, whether it's a best friend, a family member, for the duration of that date. Just share your location so somebody can be watching where you're going. If you've switched locations, use your own transportation and then stay sober. This is really important. Things people don't think about. We want you to go out again, meet people and have a wonderful time, but we want you to do whatever you can to keep yourself safe in the process.
I like that. Stay sober, very important. Okay, and then just about the romance scams. This isn't on the violent side, but it can be life-altering. It's $500 million in 2021. What are the red flags for anybody out there who wants to know in advance what they need to think about?
listen, when you're eager to make a connection, we all want to connect with somebody. But if the person on the other line is always in crisis, they need money, they need you to help them navigate something that requires finances. If they want to marry you so quickly, if they need money for a plane ticket to come see you, those are things to be wary of. Listen, there are other things. There are users, we've actually studied this. Well, they'll say, look, I'm warning you. People have fallen, I've given people a hard time at points, and you're sitting here connecting and you're kind of overlooking that. Trust your gut. Read the signs. If there's crisis, they want money. They're warning you. They talk about emotions quickly or talk about an ex all the time. Those are things to maybe make you pause before you continue and make an actual connection. And certainly don't send money. Just don't do it.
Yeah, for anybody who's desperate enough to start saying, I don't have money for a plane ticket, then why are you so keen on getting together with them? I always say, Rania, great advice. Thank you. Rania Marncarius, I'd love to have you back. That's really invaluable stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. All right. And then just a quick reminder that we are continuing to cover the Alex Murdoch trial, and it's live here on News Nation. So make sure you join Marty Hughes in the morning as she goes into the courtroom live and follows all of the evidence. And it's getting better and better, folks. It's like the crescendo. Don't miss it. Meantime, I'll be back here tomorrow night to wrap it all up for you. And I'll see you then. In the meantime, though, again, stay tuned because my colleague Chris Cuomo is coming up next.
Well, I think a lot of y'all need that assembly, so that's why I left it on instead of just turning it off then. Alexa, turn on theater. All right, turning the YouTube people around first. I'll get you guys. I'm on YouTube. Got 81 people on YouTube. All right. Okay, so real quick, talk about tell you some videos that I have coming up. So there you are, Emmy. Glad that you could finally make it. Sorry, everything else, Alexa's off. Let me turn this on. There we go. Okay. Well, thank you. So there was actually a story that I'll just give you all a preview about it. I saw the story from another creator on TikTok, and I was like, I'm going to research this and see what I can delve into. But y'all, if y'all have been following my lives for a while, then you guys have probably heard me say some interesting things. Y'all know that I make videos on trying to keep women and girls safe. You were very late. And keeping them safe. And because of that, like, it makes me hate my gender a bit, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. But I did a video a while back about what happens to, unfortunately, not terribly uncommon at funeral homes. Oh, yeah, I got to turn you guys around. Sorry. My bad. I went to do that and I completely blanked. There we go. Sorry, guys. See my snacks. I turned the thing, but I didn't turn y'all. Yes. Anyways. Sorry. So anyways, I did a video about what happens sometimes at funeral homes and how women aren't safe even when you're dead. Well, on that same note, apparently in the UK, in a certain town, you're welcome. You better, yeah. Hopefully, you got before you go on that date. I hope you took some notes because a lot of y'all need that assembly that we had just now. A lot of y'all need that. But apparently, in UK, the paramedics and EMS who respond to, I guess, certain calls, apparently are taking pictures of their female victims, to laugh and joke and make fun of, even though they're dead, and then comment on their underwear. So that's the thing. That's the thing. So yeah, y'all aren't even safe dead. It's terrifying, guys. It's absolutely terrifying. And I'm going to be doing a video on that probably tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I hate to be the one that tells you guys this. So I met Alyssa the old-fashioned way. I started so Alyssa and I went to different colleges initially, and I had a really good time at my first college, and to the point that I had to go the second college, and that's where I met Alyssa. I was single, and my buddy, I met up with a buddy from high school, and you're welcome. Sorry to ruin all of y'all. For all of y'all who are getting ready to go on dates, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, if any of the TikTok people that want to come over to YouTube, you can feel free to do it, Justin, on TikTok, because then I can throw some stuff up there. I can even throw that article that I'm going to use up there, and some of the Murdoch stuff, possibly. But nevertheless, I forget where I was going with this. But yeah, anyways, be safe. Just stay safe. Oh yeah, I met Alyssa. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. To a friend, and she was Alyssa lived across the hall with some roommates, and we were like, we're going to go see a movie. And she was like, let's invite the girls from across the hall. Thank you. Yes, this is today's shirt. Y'all can buy this shirt. This is the one affiliation that I do, because I love this. Y'all can buy this shirt through my link tree in the very top link, and you use the affiliate link and the code Justin, and you get a discount. Also, you can even buy it in a tote bag, actually, as well. Nevertheless, so we were going to a movie. I had a friend at the time. We're not friends anymore, but his name was Phil, and he had another friend who I met, and his name was Joey. And Joey was flamboyantly gay. Okay, and so Alyssa thought that Phil was gay, and then by default I was gay. So then she had no problem answering a door in a towel. So I got to I guess preview everything ahead of time. So, anyways, yeah, it's funny. I know it's backwards because I don't know. Can I mirror it? Let me see if I can mirror it. Mirror my video. No, it didn't change. If I put mirror on, it didn't do anything. Yeah, I do have good lint all over my shirt. Victoria was wearing a fuzzy sweater. Well, I try to. I'll go back to mirror my video. No, still, when I mirror, it doesn't really mirror. Did it switch? Oh. Okay, let me do it again then. It's not showing on my end, but I believe y'all. So yeah, anyways, yeah, we didn't meet on an app. Okay, I got it. I fixed it. So yes, you can buy this. Do I think it was a big blow to the defense in the Murdoch trial? I think it's a huge blow in the defense to the Murdoch trial. Huge blow. I don't even know what is Excite Chat. I don't even remember what that is. I'll tell you what was really bad. Back in the day, for those of y'all who are old enough to remember, AOL chat rooms. That shit was dangerous. So I'll tell y'all a fun story. Alyssa might kill me, but that's okay. And I might decide to go over to YouTube predominantly tonight, so TikTok doesn't get mad at me. But no, well, yeah, it was paid by the hour for a while, basically. But yeah, so Alyssa had met a friend when she was in high school. He's my age exactly. Alyssa and I are 5 years younger, or 5 years apart. So she was like 13 or 14. No, I'm not bi. I am an LGBTQ ally, but I'm not any part of. I'm completely cis, but I'm an ally. So, anyway, so she had this friend that she was talking to. She lied about her age. Her parents found out about it, and then police ended up showing up at his door, at his dorms. So that was fun. I have not heard of the sugar daddy dating site, but thank you, Emmy, for that. So yeah, anyways. Yeah, I met Alyssa the old-fashioned way. I would not want to. It wasn't a chat. I was okay, cool. So yeah, anyway. So let's talk about Murdoch a little bit. Right? Let's talk about Murdoch a little bit. Frankly, I think though, before I do that, if I was a woman, I think I would just have to be gay. I mean, at this point in the world, Alyssa showed me a video today of a guy talking about like how he wasn't going to act like if he wanted to have a kid, he did not need to ask his wife, that he was just going to do it. And it was like, my God, it's just some of these MRA guys out there are really a problem. Okay, let's answer these questions. How long do I think the trial will go on? They slated for about 3 weeks for the trial. I'm looking at y'all too over here. So if you guys have questions, please ask. And by the way, the chat's a lot slower on the YouTube side. Please, by the way, please follow me if you don't on YouTube. I'm really trying to grow that because TikTok sucks. Do I think that he is guilty? Yes, I think he's guilty. So no Moscow updates these days. When there are Moscow updates, I do the updates, just like if there's still anything that comes out about Gabby Petito, I will update that, and I will do that until the day I die if I'm on social media. Thank you for subscribing. So I will, but there's not really been anything pertinent. Now, I did on my Instagram, there were a couple new court documents that I recently uploaded. Oh, I want to talk about something. Okay, in a little bit, I'm going to come straight to YouTube and talk about something that I found out today that I'm going to also do a video on, that I am very, very pissed off about. Thank you for switching to YouTube. I'm going to probably go over there in a little bit exclusively. Yeah, this doppelganger story was absolutely insane, right? What happened to Kate? First and last man I dated off Bumble seemed great. Oh, what? Found out a month later he was just a registered sex offender. Nice. Nice. Thank you for coming over from TikTok. Thank y'all. So what do we know about Gabby and Brian's murder? Last time, well, Brian was not murdered. Brian killed himself. But there's things that the Petito family are doing. In fact, Joe Petito was in here a short while ago, right before Banfield. The cartel 1,000% did not do it. 1,000% did not do this. But so they do all sorts of things, and I like to make sure there's awareness. So, or the trials, civil trials. I'll talk about that. How do you find me on YouTube? There are 2 ways that you can do it. It is the same name as on here, Justin on TikTok, except without the 0. It's spelled normally, Justin on TikTok. So you can do @Justin on TikTok, or you can go into the link tree in my bio and click on that link tree. And not the top link, but the second link is how it will take you straight to my YouTube. So. Yeah, I definitely want to, there's something I need to pull it up and show you guys, but I'll do that. But that's how you find it. And thank you for the support on that too. I really am trying to build that because, that's just something. Not aware of the rugs, evidently. He either knows or did it. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Sorry, C-Mac. I'm sorry. I don't understand. We're talking Emily. Hey, Emily, different Emily. About all sorts of things. We're talking about Murdoch. We're talking about women not being safe even after y'all are dead. And then we're talking about a little bit about Gabby. We're talking a little bit about Moscow, slightly about Moscow. And I guess we haven't talked about Brian or Benjamin Foster yet. But do I think Alex will testify on the stand? I don't know. Is he on the witness list? I think that a lot of times they try to keep the defendant off of the stand. I don't know if he's going to or not. I don't know. Thank you guys who are coming over from TikTok and for the subscribing. I really, really appreciate it. Well, thank you. I am going to be in dating apps. Yes, there was apparently a PSA for dating apps. I will say this though, for those of y'all who are like on the fence and like screw your subscribing on YouTube and Instagram. I'm doing giveaways on both of them. So with YouTube, once I get up to 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to do like a giveaway. It will be at least $100 gift card, whether it be Amazon or Visa, and probably some other stuff. I haven't decided what that other stuff is going to be yet. Maybe shirts like this, maybe some other swag, something. So, and then Instagram is when I get to 10,000, and both are about equal people away. So Buster's supposed to be testifying tomorrow. Yes. Is it better for me to watch you here or on YouTube? Both are fine for my viewing. It depends on what you want. I mean, obviously, there's not like any, I guess, monetary benefit, I should say, whether you watch here or there. But what I will say that I like a lot about YouTube a little bit more is that I can throw, when I'm talking about something, I can throw stuff up on the screen and y'all can see it. You know, the thing about, so somebody said, thank you for being predictable. And of course, I'm happy to do it. The thing about it is, until I had a daughter, I did not realize, I knew that there were bad guys out there. I did not realize how bad it was. Like, I never realized that, like, every single girl from the time she's like, apparently, some as young as 6, apparently, but young as like 8, 9, 11 to like, whatever, 13, y'all experience at least something inappropriate for the first time. I had no idea about that. How do we see chat on YouTube? That I don't know how to see chat on YouTube. I've never tried to log into my YouTube. I use a streaming platform that puts me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. So I'm not really sure. How can you watch the Murdoch trial? There is a ton of places. News Nation, you can go to their YouTube. There's Fitz News, which has been a great source for this case. It's a South Carolina publication. It's fantastic. I mean, truly fantastic. You can watch it there. And Law and Crime. I mean, there's a bunch of places that are doing it. So, okay, there's a box that says live chat. When you're on YouTube, apparently there's a box that says live chat. Somebody said it here too. And you just click it. There you go. There's a button. So I'm doing these, but I have never been in a YouTube live. Well, I have, because I did Pascal. But when I watched Pascal's live show, I was on his live show, so I think it doesn't count. Court TV airs it. Okay. There's a lot of places. I mean, there's a lot to go on, but it's starting to get good. The biggest thing that I have an issue with, Kate, is that, yeah, a lot of men are bad these days. My biggest challenge that I have is how many are into underage girls and think that it's okay. Like, they're not even trying to hide it, some of these people. And on top of that, when something happens, okay. Well, I'm going to get into something. I'm going to start going. I don't want to get into the soapbox yet till I get off TikTok, because I don't want TikTok to ban me for what I'm going to start talking about. But just remind me to circle back when we're just on TikTok alone to Tennessee and the not harsh enough punishments for people who hurt women and girls. Remind me to come back to that. When very, very young, we don't think or know so much of those issues. Well, that's why they prey on you, because when y'all are very young, they know that y'all are easy targets to groom. So, and I don't know if it's getting worse. Here's the thing. I don't know if it's getting worse or if it's just more visible now, meaning that, like, I think it's always been an issue, but there was a time period where women, until pretty much recent history, where women couldn't say anything, right? And they didn't know. And there was, I mean, even today in 2023, you still get a lot of people victim blaming women, saying that women lie. But you know what the statistics are on that? 5.2% of women lie about sexual assault. 5.2. That means if you have 30 people accusing you of something, then less than 1.5 of them. Less than 1.5 of them. So people are getting left and right in your area for being child predators. I mean, it's a ton. It's a problem, and I think. Okay, I can't get into that discussion. Okay, I gotta make some notepads so I can circle back to this. I'm gonna stay on TikTok for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna go straight to YouTube so I can have some of these discussions. Okay. Okay. And my time is just, I don't forget what I want to talk about, because there's going to be some topics that TikTok will definitely not allow. Do it. I'm surprised that TikTok didn't ban that one either. And the thing is, but here's the thing, Kim. So Kimberly said, I was shocked when you told when I duetted the video of people stealing children's pictures and having them put on mini dolls, basically dolls of children that could lift your child's face right off the internet, and have this company manufacture a male adult toy doll. I mean, not the doll wouldn't be male. I mean, I guess doll could be male, but a doll of your child, of your child. But they did heavily suppress that video. They heavily suppressed it, as they did the original creator. You're a stalker for a decade, ended up doing horrible things, including a child. Good God. Yeah, these are children. I think that it's more than mental issues. I think that it's more than mental issues. That's the thing. I mean, it goes back to people having mental issues and not getting help. I think it's more than that. Justin Behag, what's up, buddy? You need a Justin After Dark shirt. That would be like the biggest, like that would be like the most inside joke ever. I don't think nobody wants to wear a Justin After Dark shirt. Like nobody would get that. Like if you wore it out, people were like, what the hell is that? It is good, buddy. I'm getting ready to jump over to YouTube here in a second. Y'all are saying y'all would wear. No, nobody's gonna know what that is. Nobody's gonna know what that is. Y'all would buy it immediately. Okay, a lot of y'all like. Okay, let me put that on the list of things to do. Apparently, let me tell Alyssa real quick because she's got her cricket now. Okay. You would make a video if somebody asked me? That'd be funny. Yes, we know what I know we know what After Dark means. Well, hopefully, yeah. I have a long way to go. I mean, this platform's pretty large, but I said to Alyssa, I said, apparently we need a Justin After Dark shirt. People want it. She goes, okay, that's something. That's funny. That's funny. Okay. So I told her I did my job. I'll tell you, but I have to video it first. That's funny. Okay. That's funny. So, all right. Here's what I'm going to do. You know, I think we would do originals. I think for something like that, at least for the beginning, we'd probably do that on a cricket. We would do it here in-house and get, because I would want to make sure that we got like a nice shirt. Like I wouldn't want to do just like a Hanes shirt. I would want to do something that was really nice and soft. USA Up All Night, like it. You know, you made it big when you have a shirt like that. We'll tell the rest of social media. It would be, I guess it would be good marketing. Put like in really small letters, my thing. Lars, I'm not touching that. That is a seemingly racist comment. It's to me a false equivalency. So I'm not really going to touch that one. And I know that's probably not the way you're trying for it to come off, but to me, I'm not touching that one. Yeah, actually, it would be Bella Canvas is probably what we would do. It's probably what we would do. Okay, so I'm going to jump over on, who's this? Hold on. Nobody. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and jump off and over to YouTube specifically. Okay, well, we'll have to figure that out. How do you find me on YouTube? So before I let you guys go off here on YouTube, here's how you find me. There are a couple ways I can make it really easy for you. One, you can go to www.youtube.com/@Justin on TikTok, spelled normally. Like in this one up on TikTok, it's got a 0. It would be an O. The other way, which might be a little bit easier, is you can click on my profile link up here. You'll see in there a link to my link tree. Like it's just a link. You can go there, and it gives you a bunch of links there. This second link is my YouTube. I don't find time in the day for it, which is why we're at 10:30 at night doing this. So, so y'all jump over, and then I'm going to start talking about. We'll talk about the Murdoch trial, but I want to talk about something that is really pissing me off, and I'm going to get on a soapbox real quick. And I can only do it over here because I'm going to get pissed off if I don't, and I will get banned. I don't want to get banned because I want them to verify me at some point. So that means I have to get rid of my account warning, not get banned again. So I will see you guys over there. All right, let's get real. Let me find what I want to show y'all. I am very, very pissed about this today. I saw a video about it. Let me go to, I'm just going to my Instagram. That's going to be the best way for me to find it. All right, put it here. Can I make it bigger? Let me find it this way. You actually have a better way to find it. Hold, please. Because I had this creator sent it to me. There we go. This would be the better way to do it. Let me throw this up here. Well, thank you for being here. I'm glad I'm happy with silent watchers. That's totally okay. All right. You see, I got, this is for the state that I live in. And you can read it, but let me give you guys a little bit of preface here. Okay, or a little bit of context here, if I may. For those of y'all who are new to following me, when the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, what happened on the TikTok live? I got rid of it. I turned it off so I can come on here because I'm about to say stuff that would get me banned on TikTok. That's why I talk about topics that would get me banned on TikTok. I was very vocal against the decision to overturning it. And one of the reasons is take out abortions by choice out of it. Okay, take it out of it. So Nikki knows where this is going. I'm making a video about this too. I just haven't done it yet. But for those of y'all, a lot of y'all know the story about my daughter, so I'll just make it real brief. Born at 29 weeks. It was a very bad situation. And under the Tennessee rules, because Tennessee is one of the strictest states out there when it comes to this kind of stuff, under Tennessee rules, that if a doctor decides to take a baby early, that baby dies, they would consider that possibly an abortion, and that doctor could be imprisoned. Meaning that the literal split seconds that Alyssa's OB had to get our daughter out alive might not have happened, and they both might have died. Literally, the condition that Alyssa had, it was something called vasa previa, meaning that the part of the umbilical cord was exposed and hanging directly over the cervix, meaning that if anything happened and it ruptured, Victoria would have bled out completely in just a couple minutes. So the time is very, very simple. So I talked about it from that perspective, it is not a black and white issue, that this is needed because it is healthcare in a lot of situations, because even for people who want good live births, I don't know. I'm not getting into anything political with Al Sharpton or Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. I didn't know that Kamala did go there. I don't know why Biden didn't. I know Biden called. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I don't get into politics. So anyways, except for this, I get involved in Roe v. Wade. But so that's what I've talked about a lot. Like take elective abortions completely out of the equation. There is healthcare reasons as well. Okay. So here, now that I've explained that, let me show you what I got a big problem with. This is Tennessee Senate Bill 857. It is an amendment to the heartbeat bill. Healthcare should not be politicized, as my wife said, and I completely agree. Let's scroll down to section 5. Well, actually, before I do, let me give you all some context. So they're trying to amend to delete a certain part and saying instead that a person who performs or attempts to perform an abortion commits the offense of criminal abortion. Criminal abortion is a Class C felony. And this is how they decide it. It is a violation if it is it is not a violation if the abortion is performed on a woman whose pregnancy is the result of aggravated rape. But keep this in mind. Aggravated rape, rape of a child, especially aggravated rape, and especially aggravated rape of a child, or incest. Okay, that's part 1. The abortion performed by a physician who is licensed and certified. Simple enough. The physician performing the abortion confirms that the pregnant woman reported the offense to the appropriate law enforcement agency or rape crisis center as defined in this section, which then reported the offense to the appropriate law enforcement agent. And if appropriate and available, submitted a forensic medical examination. Okay, let me stop there for a minute, because what you're going to get in here, and you're going to see the timeline of 8 and 10 weeks of basically having a choice to be able to do this. And for a, you know what, I'm going to hold it. We'll just, let me just hold it. Hold it. It talks about performing it. The physician will ensure that the sample of the embryonic or fetal tissue be preserved and able to turn over. Okay, in performing the abortion, the physician ensures that a sample of the embryonic or fetal tissue extracted during the abortion will be preserved and available to be turned over to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation for use in the investigation into the offense. And at the time of abortion, the woman had been pregnant for the following amounts of time as calculated from the first day of the last menstrual period of the woman. Now, here's where you're about to get really fucking pissed off. Okay? 10 weeks or less if the woman is the key word we use here, is 12 years of age or younger. So if you're 12 years or younger, you get 10 weeks, and they're calling that a woman. 12 years and under is a woman. It's a fucking child. It is a child. Or 8 weeks or less if the person is 13. So if you're 13 or older, you get less time. You get less time if you're 13 years old. You get 8 weeks. So look, I'm a man, and so I know that I do not have, there are certain topics that I should not be discussing, right? Okay. By the way, woman who is 13. So a 13 to 17-year-old woman, I guess. I'm smart enough to know that the girls who are getting their periods at 12 and younger, and even the ones who are, when you first get them, they're not regular, number one. Number two, most of this age group isn't tracking their period because it's not typically a problem. The other part about that is typically if you are this age, not even typically, if you are in this age group up to say maybe 15, maybe give or take, anything that you are doing sexually is abuse. It is 100% abuse. That said, 90% of children who get abused know their abuser. 30% is of a family member. If you are groomed to know, or to be, if you are somebody who has a family member or family friend who started, grooming you to the point that you're young, you don't know better, you don't know that it's wrong, or your parent, your father, your stepfather, your uncle, your brother's doing it, you don't know that it's wrong. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, they're not going to know to report it in that 10-week period, because if you think about it, you lose 2 weeks to begin with. I am so pissed about it. Now, let's keep going. Now that I've gone on that rep, let me keep going. I lost people on this. I don't care. This is important. Okay. So here's what happens. So notwithstanding another law to the contrary, a law enforcement officer may confirm the existence of a law enforcement report and forensic medical examination for an alleged aggravated rape. Okay? It talks about aggravated rape, especially aggravated rape and as a child. Talks about incest. Talks about and identify the victim of the offense to a physician if confirmation is required. So it says it's amended by deleting subsection B instead. So now let's go down here. Except as provided in subdivision, a violation of all of this stuff is going to be a class D, subsection B2 and A1, class D felony. A violation of subdivision A1 is a class C felony if the false report or statement was made by the defendant in order to obtain an abortion pursuant to this statute. The defendant must be sentenced to a mandatory minimum of at least 3 years incarceration, and the person must serve 100% of the 3-year minimum sentence. This is going to take effect July 1st. Okay, so here's what this means. Let me break this part down. Let me leave this part. Tennessee leaves the nation in nothing good. Nothing good. So that means if a court or a police officer or a judge or whoever decides that you were lying and you got an abortion, you're going to go to jail for a minimum of 3 years. Minimum. And you have to serve 100%. I think for a rapist, the minimum term is 2 years. 2 years, maybe 1.5. Maybe 1.5. So there are a couple things, in my opinion, that are part of the problem. Obviously, look, I don't have a problem with religion at all. Okay. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Yep, that was me. Thank you. Here's the thing. It's religion is now making healthcare decisions. People who look, I work in healthcare as a sales rep. I should not be making healthcare decisions for anybody other than myself and my family. I shouldn't. And we're going to get to the Murdoch case. I know this is something that I really just really want to talk about because I think awareness of this is incredibly important. But this is part of the problem. This is going to charge women for things that happen to them because a lot of times in these situations, women don't know. And as somebody said, children aren't tracking this. A 12-year-old, they're deciding 12 and under has 10 weeks. So if you're 9 years old and your stepdad rapes you and you don't know it's wrong because you're 9 years old and you've not even had any form of sex education, you don't know you're pregnant until you start showing at that point, or and somebody tests you or however it comes about. Now, there's nothing you can do about that, and your body as a 9-year-old can't handle going through childbirth. On top of that, you're going to make a 9-year-old raise a kid? And the thing is, it's men too men should not be making these decisions. I remember seeing something when everything was going down about in Indiana, like a congressman or a senator or somebody talking about, removing an ectopic pregnancy and reimplanting it, which is impossible. Well, I mean, yes, 9 to 12 girls getting their periods too is a problem in and of itself, and I have a whole theory on that as well. I think it's the hormones that they have been pumping in our food since the 80s. It makes, anyways. Yeah, the Serena Joys of the world. I get it, Emmy. So, when Victoria gets to about these ages that are in here, if things don't change, then I believe we may be looking at moving to a different state. See, that's a good point. My daughter gets her period every 4 to 5 months, so this wouldn't even be a choice for her. Yeah, you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know. Where did I post a copy of this document? No, it's on IG. Nikki, it's on Instagram, 100%. It is, let me go back and look. It is the last document I posted on Instagram. I posted 3 videos since. It's the 4th one back. So anyways, I'm very, very frustrated by this. I think that it's also frustrating that the men who cause these types of issues don't get harsher sentences. I think that that's a problem because maybe if you had in 4th grade, you didn't have sex ed. That's doesn't even start till 5th grade. So that's part of the problem. And the other thing too, which I got a video I'm going to do on this. So y'all have probably heard me if you've been in here before. If you're new, you haven't heard me. I did a video a few weeks back about Ron Jeremy. If y'all know who Ron Jeremy is, he is a porn star from like the 70s, 80s, whatever. He's disgusting looking. But he was well endowed. So that's why. Anyways, he has got dementia, can't stand trial. So 30 women who stood up against him are now not going to get to have their day in court. So I did a video talking about how these women don't get justice. And there were so many pick-me men for this guy. It was disgusting. And so somebody made a comment on that video tonight, which led me to another comment that I made a video about where he's talking about my blanket statement about, this whole situation. And here's the thing. If pornography went away tomorrow, I think that would solve a lot of issues. It's incredibly easily accessible. It creates, here's the challenge that you have with it. And I promise I'll talk about Murdoch. I just need to do this. It's an industry that has been ran by organized crime predominantly. I think that's definitely worth mentioning. So, about the healthcare, but the healthcare issue is a different issue too, because this is healthcare we're talking about. But if you it's been run by organized crime. There's human trafficking, there's sex trafficking, there's drugs, there's coercion. There are so many bad things in that whole industry. On top of that, given the fact that when a lot of us were young, those of us who are over, I guess, a certain age, pornography was not readily available. It wasn't. I remember, I'm going to be embarrassed, I'm going to admit this, when I was like 13, 14 years old, on our giant tube TV, you could get the scrambled Spice channel and trying to see if you could see anything through that scrambled Spice channel. That is what we had back in the 90s. But now these kids know more than us. Our children, anybody younger, is going to know more than us when it comes to technology, their phones, the computer, everything. So yeah, y'all remember, and you're just like trying to see, like, oh, I saw a boob. But anyways, it's readily available for them. Yeah, well, that is a big issue. Yes, Ozempic is a huge issue. Well, thank you, Darby. So now you have teen boys who have this stuff at their fingertips. Parents aren't looking, and then there's still that whole boys will be boys mentality, that's a different soapbox. I'm gonna table that one and say that then you have girls who are interested in boys or want to go through these things, and there's a lot of pressure. There's always been a lot of body image issues for women. If you are somebody who grew up in the basically any time before now, and even now, like, women get body shamed. And I mean, it was really bad in the 90s and early 2000s. It was really bad in the 80s and 70s. But now for these girls who want a boyfriend or want a guy to be interested in them, the guy will send them a text, send me nudes, because they're used to seeing it. It creates an unrealistic view of women. Like what you see in those, in adult entertainment videos, what you see in those is not a realistic depiction, as I'm sure all of y'all know. And so it creates and so basically it's rewiring these guys' brains. It creates an unrealistic view. And these girls feel like they have to do it to get the guy interested in them, because they have all of this stuff so readily available at their fingertips. And I'm not saying that girls are 100% innocent in this. I'm not saying this is a 100% a boy issue. It is a boy and girl issue. But as typically we talk about, these types of things are more related on the boys' side, because the girls are taught to be a certain way, but those rules don't apply to the boys. So anyways, I promise I'll stop talking about this, but it's a giant issue. I don't really know what to do about it. There's no limitation for it. It's easy to get this stuff. I mean, I think, didn't we hear recently that Pornhub and Visa, there was like this whole giant thing because there was like all this underage crap going on with that. So that's what guys on dating apps swung out. Yeah, like, so that's what Amy said. Well, I'm throwing you up there. It is a parent issue, Patty. I agree with you 1,000%. It's a parent issue. Some parents check out, but part of it, even for the parents that are not checked out, though, for a lot of people, their kids are smarter than us with technology. There are apps made to look like other apps that you would never check to hide stuff. So, it's trying to keep safe, and I don't know. It's maybe people not having the right discussions. I don't know. So anyways, but yeah, what Amy said, that's what guys on dating apps swung out of the gate asking me. I'm like, hard pass. Yeah. Why do you feel like, why do you feel that you're entitled to somebody's nude photos just because? Like, it's mind boggling to me. Anyways. So yeah. Anyway, I will get off the soapbox. Wanted to show you this because I'm infuriated about it. I found out about it today. I have yet to give the time needed to voted to it to give it. If you want to read this whole document in its entirety, I would imagine for those of y'all who are in Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi, that it is going to be something very similar, and I'm quite sure several other states as well. It is common for them to share those pictures too, 100%. And that's the thing. Once you send it, it's gone. It's there forever. It's there forever. And if they're underage, then they can get in trouble for sending underage pictures. The transmission of, child content, child abuse material, even if it's them. I mean, you've seen those stories. Is this already signed into law? Yes, Sue. It is signed into law effective July 1st, 2023. Yeah, it can be very elaborate, and they know how to make apps. Oh, thank you. I've never gotten a super sticker. That's really cool. Thank you, Lisa. In an ideal world, we want to foster a relationship with our children where they feel safe to talk to us and tell us things. And in an ideal, that's the ideal world, but in reality, it's not always going to go out that way. So, I'm hoping that we can foster an environment for Victoria that teaches her healthy relationships and boundaries. Kurt, Michelle, I don't want to recap it. If you want to go to, it goes to the abortion bill. I can't go through and recap it. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, Amy, too. But it's signed into law. So, anyways, I will shut up about this. All right, thank you, Michelle. I got really heated there. I don't want to get heated again. Get my blood pressure up. And I had a beer while we were watching Banfield, so that's why I was already at this level. Anyway, so we can talk about Murdoch if we want to now, or whatever y'all want to. Oh, that's I didn't know that you could do that. Sorry. So that's awesome to know. Okay, for those of y'all who have seen, I'm sure most of y'all have since y'all are in the live. Good night. Thanks for hanging out with us. I don't really have any opinions on Bethany, Lars. My opinion on Bethany is that she was on the bottom floor. She was asleep. She didn't hear or see really anything. That's my opinion. I think that's why you haven't heard anything from her. I think there's a couple of reasons why you haven't heard anything from her. I think that also she's probably been told not to talk to the press. And on top of that, on top of that, I mean, think about all the people that have been accused of things and their lives ruined. She probably doesn't want to do anything. As far as Idaho goes, no real updates. The only thing that you could maybe quasi call an update is Xana's mom was arrested for trespassing, apparently. But other than that, not really. That's awesome that you're doing that with your podcast. I doubt Banfield would have bailed her out. I doubt it. I don't know. I know the doctor today, my blood pressure was so high. I don't have high blood pressure. I think it's all the trial talk. Or maybe you're starting to get high blood pressure, Emmy. You're getting older. Trespassing, not trespassing. Did I say trespassing? Trespassing. Illinois is too cold, but weed is legal. So I don't know if they return to school. I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, I'm 42, so yeah, you need to go. I'm not 42. I'm 40 also. So I'm assuming you're 82. Us 82 people have to stick together. No, Mom, I don't think has been out of jail for an interview. I think she was just arrested. Yeah, the Murdoch video was insane. Okay. Yeah, we can talk about the FaceTime on Paul's phone. It destroys Alex's alibi, doesn't it? It sure it destroys it. He wasn't sleeping. Okay, I'll have to take a. I will look at it. I'll go back and check and make sure that it's there. If not, I don't. I can. I can check while I got you right here. Hold on. I do not have it. Let me check my junk. Oh man, no, I got this. Hold on. Yeah, I did not get it. I just saw something that I didn't. I got. I thought that doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm checking. Yeah, checking my junk folder. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, I'm checking my junk folder. I did not see it in there. I did see other stuff that I'm really sad that I missed. I got some stuff from Judy that I didn't know was there. The email. I'll spell out here. So I had to add an S to it. Justin's on TikTok because Justin on. It's funny, Erica. Because Justin on TikTok was already taken, so they probably got it. So, anyways, yeah, her phone was half a mile away. I'm kind of thinking that his story of the phone falling out of Paul's pocket is not believable to me. I'm wondering if he went to. I mean, I guess it could be. But I'm wondering if he went to grab that phone and take both of them far away, but then decided to leave that one with Paul and then go take the other one. Gigi, I don't know the answer to that. My understanding is no, but I don't know. I've seen so many conflicting things on that. I honestly don't know. Okay, so Nikki asked a good question. The part that had me confused was how her phone got half a mile away if Alex's phone was logging steps at the time. So logging steps doesn't necessarily mean that there are steps. It could have been in a car and it could have been bouncing. So, you're talking about dirt and gravel roads potentially. I mean, it could count that, drive half a mile down the road, toss it, and then come back. I don't know. I don't know if a ping would catch that if he's only going half a mile, but that's kind of what I wonder if happened. Maybe he didn't walk, maybe he drove or took like a side by side or took, some vehicle and dropped it and then came back. We don't have to call it corn on YouTube. We can use the real words, but yes, I agree. Did you get my response to you regarding the design merch? If you, I'm assuming then, that being said, hold on. Sorry, ADD. I just saw, okay, I'll just say real quick. Sorry, I'm assuming that you're Melissa, and if that's the case, yes, I did, and I forgot to respond. I'm sorry. We do need to talk. I went to do an Alcatraz East thing, and I tried to get a creator pass or, a pass for being a creator. And I got mad because I didn't think I get it, but I went to my spam folder, and I'm really sad about that now. I confused what his alibi was when he apparently lured her to the cabin. Who was lured to the cabin? I'm very confused right now. Yes, I need Jolene's username too. I don't know what it is. I will have to find it. Let me see. I can send you her email. Also, I'm going to forward you this email. Do you see what I said, Alyssa? The Alcatraz East did send me something. She sent this a while ago too, like a month ago. So I'm going to send it to you so you can say something. Okay, hold on. Let me do this real quick before I forget. There you go. Maybe been cleaning up stuff and threw it out when he left to go. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if he was riding side by side, there would be definitely enough bounce to log steps. 100%. It's okay. It's okay. I assumed that you were. I assumed it was you. Oh, gotcha. I forgot what the question was. I read that Alex lured his wife. Okay, I read that Alex lured his wife and she texted her friend that he was acting fishy. I didn't see that. Emmy would be able to, okay, Emmy answered that. I don't know everything. Emmy knows like literally everything on this case. Emmy, you just need to come on here. Maybe not tonight, but maybe like tomorrow. You want to come on tomorrow? You should come on tomorrow. I think tomorrow's going to be a big day. Hopefully you spelled it right. I haven't gotten it yet, but I will let you know. Oh, yep, I did. I got it. Just got it. Just got it. I don't know when I'm going to have time to read 34 pages, but I will do my best to do that. This is what I was saying about the South. The side public knows is not what your family knows. You're always putting on a show that no one sees behind the curtain. That can be very true. And I think that's anywhere, but yeah, I think that's very true. Or yeah, let's do Friday. Let's plan on Friday, maybe. Let's do that. We can, okay, here's the thing. We can watch the documentary on HBO. But there's a challenge to that. We would probably have to skip Banfield or watch Banfield at a later time. Because here's why. It would have to be after Victoria goes to bed. We don't have HBO Max, but because of somebody who logged into HBO Max at one of our cabins, we have it for whatever reason only on our downstairs television on one of the TVs in the house. So I could get a tripod and stream it from our downstairs television, and I'm very happy to do that. But it means that we would probably have to, or you know what we could do? We could maybe do it on a weekend, but it won't be this Saturday because I'm going to my 2000s mixtape concert on Saturday. And I'm very excited about that. And then next week, there are a couple of days, probably Tuesday. I don't know what days yet, actually. I'm going to be in Memphis. Family might be coming, which means that I will have a hotel room and I might not be able to stream anything, but we will see. I have Netflix for now. I don't think I could stream it for YouTube only. I think I would have to stream it on exclusively TikTok because that would be so. Banfield apparently, I got kind of the skinny on it. Apparently, things like Banfield, certain news sources, they don't really care about the copyright. TMZ is really bad. HBO would be really bad. I couldn't do. I could. You, Erica, I will totally abuse it. You don't want to do that. Okay, I'm going to tell y'all real quick about the 2000 mixtape thing real quick because I'm very, very excited about who's going to be. I'm going to pull up so I don't miss anybody. Okay. Mixtape Nashville. Yeah, it's probably an unpopular opinion. Banfield's been kind of pissing me off lately. Where the hell? There, is that it? There you go. My 2000s playlist. That's what it's called. My 2000s playlist. All right, let me tell you who's going to be here. Okay, I'm just gonna throw this up for y'all real quick. It's not 90s, 2000s, but yeah, you'll still appreciate it. Here we go. This is what we got. This is who I'm going to see. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this track list here. You got Nelly, Ashanti, Ja Rule, Fat Joe, Mace, Fabulous, Lloyd, Mike Jones, Yin Yang, Amari. I don't know who DJ Leva is. Yeah, I'm very, very excited about this. Very excited about this. And Alyssa and I are going. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. I love my live music. So it might not be this Saturday is my point, but or maybe we could do it on Sunday, stream some of it, or we can get Banfield or something. I don't know. Figure it out. I've seen Yin Yang before, and they are a blast. I was probably, I don't know, Alyssa and I were probably 10 feet, if that, away from Yin Yang. Let me show you what else. If I can go live at Bridgestone, we'll be at Bridgestone Arena, and the service there is usually really terrible. But I'll show you what else I'm going to be going to for free, by the way. Hold on. Where is it? I just announced it. Here we go. On a very completely different. Hold on, I'm trying to. Not now. There we go. Window. Okay, here we go. I'm also going to this for free. So I'm very excited about that as well. So I will say, though, if you are in any of these cities down here and you want to go, I can promise you it will be a great show for what that's worth. So we're going to see it in September. Tour starts in August, and in August 24th, they're going to do all these dates in a month. So anyways, so we're going to see this. I might, hopefully we'll get backstage. It depends on if they've changed. Wait, Fallout's going somewhere? A Fallout play? Okay, hold on now. This is the benefit of that you get when you're friends with this dude's assistant. Is you get good tickets at free shows and backstage passes, assuming that I want to see Fall Out Boy now. We're gonna do this together. If Fall Out Boy is touring, Alyssa is going to freak out. We're gonna look together. You know, y'all need to look with me. We'll talk. Yeah, they do. Okay. Are they coming here? We're all doing this together. Sometimes, guys, I need to not talk about murder. So this is what we're doing real quick. It's Indiana, Virginia, Florida, Georgia. We can go to Atlanta, and then it goes to Japan. Lakewood in July. Do we have something? Do we have another concert in July? This is a cool little bubble thing. How much are tickets? So we would have to see it in Atlanta, which, I mean, I would totally go to Atlanta. Oh yeah, his alibi is already proven to be like garbage. It's in pre, so I don't know what the tickets are going to be. I don't know how much they're going to be. Alyssa, we can go to now. I was going to look at. We can go to Atlanta. We just go to Atlanta. We'll stay at that cool place. So that we went to. Anyways, I digress. I'll stop sharing this. Sometimes I need to take a break from murder. Okay, so in less than 5 minutes, you get home. We're concerned enough to look for them, find them, be in shock, check for a pulse, try to flip Paul over. I know, Lars, it doesn't add up. You're 100% right. His alibi was that he was over visiting his mom because his dad got hospitalized. His mom has Alzheimer's conveniently. I mean, not conveniently. It sucks that she has Alzheimer's, but doesn't remember what happened. And I can't give away Alice tickets as prizes. That's not something that I will ever ask my friend to do. I will not take advantage of my friendship with him like that. That's why I get free tickets, because I don't take advantage of the friendship. I've known the guy for a long time, but anyways, yeah, his alibi was that he was taking a nap, though, essentially. And just think about this: Maggie video evidence that shows otherwise. He was there, and he lied about it in a circumstantial case. This is very important evidence. Yes, a Buster could have been there. Buster could have been a second shooter, frankly. I mean, that's a far-fetched theory, but still. So, anyways. I wish I could give away tickets for prizes. Like I said, I try not to take advantage of that friendship in that way. No, I can't. I would say, no, I know that you weren't suggesting it that way, but that's just how it is. The problem that he has is that a lot of people, because of the people who he's close to and has access to, try to, like the day that the tickets came out, he was blowing up. Like when the tour was announced. Now I knew the tour. I knew that there was going to be a Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper tour, like a few days before it was announced. And so once it was formally announced, he was getting blown up. But he said he can get me tickets for Nashville, so I'm definitely going to do that. He can't promise backstage because he doesn't know if the tour company is going to keep COVID rules under that for the meet and greets and stuff. So we'll see. Anyways. Yeah, Buster's taking the stand tomorrow. I think that's going to be great. I can't wait. Yeah, Dick Harpoolian has been disappointing in this round. So Alex attorney Dick Harpoolian is known for being a showboat. He has not been. You know what I wish we could watch? You know what we should really all watch to get us in the mood for trials, which I can't do on YouTube? We should watch My Cousin Vinny. Buster is the surviving son, Caitlin. Alex Murdoch's surviving son. You're doing good work, Cheryl. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. I don't have the ability to. I can't record the trial because I have to take my phone with me when I go work. That's the issue. Oh, I hope you guys feel better. Thank you for sending that over. Have a good night. I think Dick might know Alex is also a huge supporter of Dick's political campaign, so he's kind of doing Alex a solid here, but not going well. Interesting. Well, he might know, but the goal is to try to get, a good attorney doesn't want a loss. You can still try to get them off. Yeah, I feel bad. I hope your 14-year-old feels better. And I hope you guys stay good. So yeah, it has been. And I know it's been on Newsnation. It's not an issue of knowing where to record it. It's an issue of physically being here. You saw Rob Zombie? That's awesome. I'm telling you, Alice puts on a hell of a show, and my understanding is Rob puts on a hell of a show, so it should be really good. Nice. How was it? I wish YouTube would allow me to do more. Like, I wish I could play like music in the background like I can on TikTok and stuff. That sounds good. This is what I had tonight. Where was this from? I have a lot of South Carolina beers. Maybe while that we're talking about this, I should do this. This one's from Kentucky. This one's from Kentucky. It is a vanilla barrel cream ale. And it's aged in bourbon barrels, and it's got like a vanilla cream taste, and it is amazingly good. The tasting notes are oak, vanilla, caramel, and toffee. And it's amazing. You've been wanting tequila lately. Look, there are no good decisions ever made on tequila. Ever. It's nothing but bad decisions. Did I find the Vice article on the dissident homeschool? I don't know if I found I know that I was sent information about the dissident homeschool thing, and I will be doing a video on it without a doubt. I will be doing a video on it. I don't know which article the Vice article. I didn't look for the Vice article. I did see a couple articles on it. But I will be. I can rest assured about it. I will be doing. So okay, since we can talk about this here, let's just pull that up real quick. That'll be a fun thing for us to talk about real quick. This is going to be a video. Y'all should know about this. So okay, because we can put this on here. Yeah. Okay. So my buddy Kyler, he's the one that does work for Alice. He's got 2 children, and both of them are a result of tequila. So you make decisions with that. Take that information and make decisions that you feel are good to make. Okay. So I'm going to show y'all this. This is going to be a video once I have time to do the appropriate research about this. Let's just pop it up there. Let's just pop it up there. That. Okay. This. Started in Ohio. Yeah, tequila is for bad decisions, guys. Tequila's for real bad decisions. This article is from January 29th. This has recently come out, at least that I know of. It recently came out. Somebody shared it with me, and I've seen it. So apparently it started around MLK. There's a dissident homeschool network. They opened a lesson plan and were greeted with the words, "As Adolf Hitler wrote, it's up to us to ensure our children know him for the deceitful, dishonest, blah, blah, blah." Oh, MLK. I guess it's up for us to ensure. I'm not going to read this because I don't say some of this stuff, but you can read what this says. This group began in October of 21. I haven't read the whole thing. I've just known a little bit about it. This may end up being they discourage their parents from letting their white children play or have contact with any people of any other race. The amendment members use racist, homophobic, and anti-Semitic slurs without shame and quote Hitler and other Nazi leaders daily in open channel to the public. It's also saying that the parents that are teaching them, I have in Florida, the phony diplomas, like 2,200 people or something like that. Yeah, I wish I could say I was surprised too. So anyways, this is going to be a video. They also apparently have a German Shepherd. The couple that started this has a German Shepherd with the same name as Hitler's dog. So you can't talk about old Adolf and the Nazis on TikTok. So this might be a strictly YouTube video. Is it the nursing that makes you embarrassed to be a Floridian? Does everybody in here know about Florida Man? Does everybody here know about? I mean, let's go down the Florida Man rabbit hole for a second, because there's a lot of things to be embarrassed about Florida. Yeah, okay. Somebody throw a date out, not a year. Throw a date, a month and a day. Okay, Lindsay knows. Okay, throw me a date, month and day. Anyone you want. Anyone you want. We'll do this together. I'm waiting for a date. I'm going to show you all this. April 13th. All right. We got October. Okay, hold on. What's the first one I got? First one I got was February 26th. We'll do it with all these. The hardest one to spell. Florida Man. Hey, there's always going to be some ridiculously weird article that goes with it. Florida Man dies inside suitcase on February 26th. Girlfriend charged after claiming they were playing hide and seek. All right. That is for February 26th. Let's do October 6th. All right, there's a few good ones here. There's a few good ones we have for October 26th. We didn't know it was your birthday, Caitlin. Florida man who failed to run to Bermuda like hamster says he wants floating bubble back. Okay, that's a Florida man. We also have South Florida man claims voodoo caused him to impregnate a 13-year-old. We also have with her, what is this one? What is it? Florida man interrupts. What's this one do? Florida man interrupts Hurricane Matthew live to TV report to yell "Dicks out" for Harambe. If y'all don't remember Harambe, he was the gorilla. Damn it, I didn't mean to close that. Because we're going to keep doing this. Florida man, guys. Florida man. People who are leaving for Florida man, y'all are missing out. I'm telling you. Don't leave for Florida man. All right, so we had October 6th, February 26th. Let's do another one. Let's do April 13th. 13th. Oh, I got to pull you guys back up so y'all can see me doing this. Sorry. Can't believe y'all don't know about Florida man. Okay. Oh, there's a few. There's a few. We have a few good ones here. Florida man sentenced to prison for stealing 63 golf cart. Florida man steals pool floats for sex instead of raping women. I guess that's good. Florida man was rescued trying to ride a hamster ball to the Bahamas. So that's not Bermuda like the other hamster ball. Do you guys see this, though? You can pick any date. You can pick any date. Any date. It doesn't matter. Do October 18th. Okay. Florida man with half a head arrested for attempted murder. There you go. Or Florida man arrested. Let's go with this one. Florida man arrested for pleasuring himself with an ice pack in front of first responders. Again, any date. You can pick any date at all. Don't put a year. Any date at all. In Florida man. Oh, we want to do October 31st? Let's do Halloween. Florida man takes epic mugshot after driving naked near school with wires attached to his penis. I'm telling you, you're not going to disappoint. This is never going to disappoint. You can pull up any date with Florida man and find the craziest story. Yeah, it's any date. It's any date, and you will find something crazy. Florida man. So you get the point. Well, I'm sure it was a true story. See, the thing is, it's funny when a crazy news story comes out, Alyssa and I will be talking about, like, let me tell you this story. Guess what state it happened in? And 100% of the time, it is Florida. It is 100% of the time Florida. So you guys see, this could be your rabbit hole for the night. This could be your rabbit hole for the night. What time is it? 12, 11. Yeah, I'm gonna do this 3 more minutes and then I'm gonna go to bed. I don't think it's other states have it this bad, Kate. I really don't. They legalize drugs only. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people, because there's a lot of issues in Florida with criminals and mental, people with mental challenges because they get homeless. And if they can make it to Florida, it stays warm. Okay, yes. Don't date men from Florida, and especially don't date men named Brian from Florida. You know, the rabbit hole that is the state of Florida, Sammy? Is that what you're talking about? Anyways, Florida man, it's fun. It's a new trick. Any day, it's a blast. Just do it. Thank you everybody who has come over here and followed. I really appreciate it. It really helps out. Yeah, the drug was they were eating bath salts. They were eating bath salts. I'm going to do one more thing before I get off, though. Actually, I want to show you one more thing. Well, I'm not show y'all, but you'll see. Hold on one second. I want to do something real quick for y'all. I love this whole thing. Maybe that's invalid. What is my thing? Oh, I can't do it. Never mind. Well, actually, maybe I can do it this way. Hold on. There you go. I'll do it this way. Work around. Work around. Open anyways. And this. All right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this on YouTube. This is very pathetic of me, but I'm going to do it anyways. Rickies are bad too. Taking Florida activities off your bucket list. What do you mean? You don't play hide and seek in a suitcase? I don't know who that is. No way. I don't know who that is. So before I go, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be shameless here. That is the link if you guys want to order any of these amazing shirts or tote bags or other things that they have. They are incredible and it supports me. Did I go to Georgia Southern for college? Yes, I did for 4 years. Had a great time. Yeah, I'll definitely be recording. I'm really excited about seeing Ja Rule. But yeah, that's you're gonna code Justin, and you can buy awesome shirts like this and be millennially angsty with me if you want. That's where I live. You're alumni. Awesome. You're in Statesboro. I probably shouldn't have just outed you, but I guess. I haven't been in a long time down there. I had a lot of fun, though. I had a lot of fun at Georgia Southern. I ended up graduating from Kennesaw State. That's where I met Alyssa. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I had a good time. Fun fact, if you guys remember Honey Boo Boo, she lived not terribly far from Statesboro. One episode they went to splash in the borough. So Athens is fun. Nashville is fun. You're going to go to Broadway, aren't you? I'm not going to meet you at Broadway. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is all you. Honey Boo Boo was child exploitation. Child exploitation. That show's god awful. Yeah, I'm excited for those shows. We have a lot of good concerts coming up. I'm pretty excited about. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. Yeah, it's not a bad drive. Yeah, Broadway, I avoid like the plague. The only time I go down toward Broadway is if I'm going to a show at Bridgestone Arena. That's pretty much it. And even when people come into town, I refuse to go there. Like if they want to go out and have fun, more power to them. All right. Oh yeah, Loveless Cafe is really, really good. That's a good thing. Third Man Records International. So if you do records, so I do vinyl, as you know. Grimey's is really good. It's probably one of the best records. But if you really want to do something fun, if you're into records at all, one of my absolute favorite places to go, it's just such a cool vibe, is a place called Vinyl Tap. And literally it's a bar/record store. And it's super, super, super cool. Yeah, I know, Erica, it's a dangerous site, but you get like 10 or 20%, I think 10% off with my code. So use code Justin, you get 10% off. I'm being shameless. I love these shirts. That's why I said this is the only thing I'm affiliated with, because I love it. I wear them all the time. Yeah, 12 South is good. Berry Hill's good. Panic at the Disco announced that they were done touring. Yeah, Vinyl Tap. Grimey's is great. Their old location was better, but Vinyl Tap is my favorite. My favorite hang for, and you know what? Honestly, they have records that you can't get anywhere. So for those of y'all who have been with me any period of time, y'all know that I am a massive fan, or I don't say massive, but one of my favorite albums that I have, and what I think is one of my favorite albums of all time is New Radicals. Maybe You've Been Brainwashed too. And I had been talking maybe the week before, a couple weeks before, month before, to Alyssa, like, I really wish it would be on vinyl. And we were getting ready to leave Vinyl Tap and it started playing. And I know that Vinyl Tap only plays shit that they have on vinyl. So I'm like, there's no way this is on vinyl. And I looked at it, like, this is on vinyl? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, so I found it. I was like, and I like literally screamed like a little girl. It was, yeah, they have some great stuff that's hard to find. A lot of times, a lot of new releases. So really good shit. And they literally have in the record crates, like a place that you can put your beer or your drink. And they have really good craft beers too. So I can't speak highly enough about Vinyl Tap. And then actually too, my buddy, the one that works for Alice, he just did a show there about a month ago. Like it's a really small venue. They have a little stage and stuff, really small, but he did a thing there, which is really cool. So anyways, I digress. Yeah, Coach Caitlin, Vinyl Tap is awesome. You want to start a vinyl collection? Do it, Erica. Just don't even think about it. Just do it. It's expensive, but don't worry about the money. Because I'll be honest with you. I mean, seriously, for a lot of them, they really do go up in value. No, you'll hang them as wall art. You listen to them. I can't help you here. I can't help you. I have some on my walls, just the covers, only if they're signed. I can show you my vinyl. Well, I can't. Well, I can show you right now. Here, hold on. There's my vinyls. All of it. Right there, from there, well, all the way down. That is it. I've got 3 record players in that setup right there. You see the 2 on the top, and there's 1 in it. And the one on the left is for anything 90s and later. The one on the right is 70s and 80s. And the one before that is 60s and older. I'll show you something else if I can real quick. Let me look. Let me see if I can show this. I'm gonna log in. I'll try to log in. I don't know my login for this site, so never mind. I can't show you. I have a ton of 40. I have like 8. I have like seriously 645s. You're talking about the butcher cover, Caitlin. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. Are any of them autographed? Yes, a lot of them actually. So everything on this wall here that I'm showing you. There we go. Sorry, it's a little messy. Everything on that wall is autographed, including the album covers. Everything here. And I have a couple books of autographs that are up there, but everything up there is signed, including the album covers. And then because I didn't have room, I have like 20-something Alice Cooper albums, and every one of them are signed. Every one of them are signed. Oh, I'm sorry that you got robbed. That sucks. But just start. Sorry, Baxter's making a weird noise. Just if you want to get into vinyl, just buy a record player. If you, here's what I will tell you. You know what, I should do an affiliate link. So don't go buy it. Let me do an affiliate link. But if I was going to tell you to buy a record player to get started with, just something cool and basic and simple and easy to use that's got really good sound quality, I would say anybody who's looking to do this, get yourself an Audio Technica LP60 Bluetooth BT. You can then hook it up to a sound bar, and it's got really good quality sound, super easy to listen to. Don't buy the Crosleys. Don't buy the Crosleys or any of those the Victrolas. Don't buy those. Buy something good. An Audio Technica is a good entry-level record player, I think. Cheryl, I think you're watching from a delay. We're still live, but I think you're watching from a delay. That's okay. Fangirl away over the collection. I should really do an affiliate link on these kind of things. Believe it or not, my most valuable album is Little Dicky, Professional Rapper. I bought it for like $25 when it was new, and it's worth like seriously $400 or $500 now. It's an Audio Technica LP60 BT, Erica. Okay, it's actually gone down a little bit. It was worth more. Now the cheapest one is $250. So maybe it might not be the most expensive one anymore. Hey, that Little Dicky Professional Rapper album is good. I don't care what anybody says. I know I haven't looked and seen in a while, like what the values are. Maybe I'll do that before I go to bed. Speaking of, I need to go to bed. But yeah, that's a really good starter for anybody who wants to do it. You know, your big box, you know, the local record stores are great. You can start with used vinyl and stuff. I mean, some of it's going up in value, but you can start with used stuff. That's not a bad price for one, honestly. So, I mean, it's a good record player, you know, for what it is. It's not, you know, I know people who have like $3,000 or $5,000 record players. I'm rocking So I have an LP60, an older one that doesn't have Bluetooth. That's one of the ones that's in here. Then I have another LP60 downstairs that is Bluetooth. Yeah, talking about death and murder, it's a lot. Like, I know people want to talk about the crime and they enjoy it, and I appreciate it too. But sometimes it's nice to just be more chill. And I love music, and I never get. It's funny. There's some things that I really love talking about that I never really get to because people just don't. From a social media perspective, at least, people don't really care. One of them is the DeLorean. The other one is because DeLoreans have been such a passion of mine for a long time. Like, literally, it's one of my biggest life accomplishments to have gotten that car. But for thrift shops, you're just gonna find gospel in country. Like, and not, I don't like country, so to me, no country is good country, but like not good country. And the vinyl. I love talking about music, but nobody cares when I give recommendations on music, so it's like whatever. Well, there's a lot of good country stuff out there too. Dolly Parton's a saint. Yeah, me too. It was fun. But I'm telling y'all, if y'all want a good album to listen to that I think was completely underrated from the 90s, like, just put on New Radicals. Maybe You've Been Brainwashed too. You'll know at least two of the songs on there for sure. But it's really a good album, and I love it. It is one of my all-time favorites. I like a lot of rap, Emmy. I'm going to see Ludacris soon too. You're a New Yorker living in Alabama? Ooh. That's literally my cousin Vinny. Okay. I'm really excited. I'm seeing, actually, it's Janet Jackson with Luda, but I care more about Luda. Usher was really good too. I have a couple of Usher vinyls on a couple of Usher albums on vinyl too. Yeah, Stevie Nicks is coming here. I don't know if I'm going to get tickets. I kind of want to, though. I don't know, though. And I think Johnny Cash is actually buried literally like 10 minutes from here, not even. And 5 of those are me getting out of my neighborhood. Yeah, that's fair. Well, you can't go on dating apps either. I think Cheryl's watching from behind, like how we started Banfield late. Yep, she's giving us dates. That's when we were talking about Florida Man. It's hard. It's hard. I'm not a woman, obviously, but I just can't imagine how hard it is. Just all the time. It's got to be. Yeah, the same birthday as Johnny Cash. That's cool. This is cool. It's gotta be hard though. Like, even like if Alyssa and I are like together at a store with Victoria, if I go walk off, somebody always comes up and talks to her. I'm not triangulating myself. So poor Cheryl. She's gonna catch up and be like, I was way behind. Oh, did you order it? I need to order the hard pass one. I will probably take the profits from whoever orders stuff and then buy myself more shirts. Obviously. So okay. She does. She's gonna catch up. She's gonna catch up. I'm gonna tell her. Hold on. We're gonna tell her. Hold on. So funny. There's a guy at your local bar that will follow me to my car when I'm alone. Definitely scared being a woman. Yeah, that's terrible. Like, that's not normal, Caitlin. That's not normal. That's not normal for people. I mean, I guess it's normal for because all women experience something like that, but that's just not like you shouldn't have to. It's just it's not a way to live to be constantly have to be in fear. Yeah, rock is good. Telling you, Emmy, go listen to Maybe You've Been Brainwashed too. That's I think you'll I mean, I don't know your taste, but I think you'll dig it. And you're gonna be like, you're gonna say this is the best album, and I can't believe I've never heard this whole thing. Or you're gonna be like, Justin's an idiot. And he has terrible taste in music. Maybe it's an album. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show y'all. And then I'm gonna go for real. Let me show y'all. One of my favorite albums. It's what I was talking about earlier. And I was like, y'all need to listen to this. Where is it? All right, for real though, where is it? Is it up here already? Yeah, I listened to it the other day. That's why I thought. Okay, found it. And even the cover is like quintessentially 90s. This album, right here. This album. Right here. You rascals. The album is called Maybe You. I mean, it doesn't matter what it's called because they've only had one album. But the album is called Maybe You've Been Brainwashed Too. Like also. So there you go. This is a good listen, guys. I'm telling you. It's one of my all-time favorite albums. I love this album. So anybody who wants to listen to it. That is not going on a shirt. I'm not printing that. All right. Okay, you guys have a great night. Thank y'all for hanging out. Emmy, we need to figure out a time for us to get you on maybe Friday. Would be good. So y'all have a great night, and we will talk again soon. Probably tomorrow.